Same start as last session. Hello everyone and welcome to another NIP D&D session where off-stream we're an orchestra. We're jumping into the Pirates of Kal'Himaar again, session numero 3. We'll do a little bit of
Sorry, I don't speak Spanish. What does that mean?
No idea. I just want to say it in the street once. So we'll jump right in. I'll do a little bit of a recap in a sec. But first of all, we'll introduce our wonderful players and their characters. And as always, we'll start with the wonderful man on my left.
Hello, I'm Jamie, and sorry ladies, I'm single and looking. And I'm playing for Waro. He is a rogue Aarakocra, and he is excited to get on the open seas.
Hey, it's me, it's Elliot. I am playing Garvin Serious Uitvar. He is a Goliath barbarian, and he's Fuaro's bodyguard.
Hey, you know what time it is. It's 5:33, which is Tom time.
In southern Nebraska.
Southern Nebraska, as far as Elliot's concerned.
Didn't realise Nebraska had multiple time zones.
I am Tom.
That's one.
It's got one time zone, but it's only Tom time. I'm Tom. I'm playing Mistella, Navalis, Notorious, Small Boy, and Sorcerer.
My favourite thing is every time you say you know what time it is and instantly look at your laptop to find out what the time is.
No, you know what time it is. I don't.
Yeah, it's Tom time. It's about what the real time is.
What is up, guys? Kane here, coming at you from the nifty live stream. I'll be playing River Kiss Row, and don't forget to smash that motherfucking follow button.
Please.
I'm glad that you found your intro niche.
It's garbage. It's my intro.
It's so garbage, it's good.
Hola, me llamo Annie, soy una escuela. I'll be playing Nemira. She's a human warlock of the chaotic neutral persuasion, and she does magic tricks.
Afraid I don't speak Latin.
Cool. Before we get into the recap, I believe.
Yes, we've got something we're doing a little bit different with this stream because we're doing a little bit less chat interaction, so we thought to give something back to you guys for watching, especially for those guys who stick around. We're just giving a shout out to any of the chatters that were around about the 3/4 mark, and yeah, specifically giving a shout out to whoever chatted at the exact 3/4 mark of the stream. So for session 1, shout out to Pilchard123, thank you for sticking around.
Cheers, Pilchard.
And for session 2, it was the ever lovable and artistic Gaunties. I didn't do a nice intro for Pilchard, so I'm sorry about that, but yeah, you're also lovely, and thank you both for tuning in and sticking around. And if you want to win next week's Climax Comment Competition, stick around to the end and keep chatting.
I'm aiming for it this week.
You'll get nifty points, probably. They're worth nothing. But
What if one of us gets it? Do we get a shout out?
no.
I excluded us from the competition.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn.
Fun fact.
Set up an on.
You may notice that we are down one this week, so I will be stepping into the shoes of Scythus Jinzaramuth, as Callum is currently away on business.
He's TCOB.
Yeah. AFK. So, getting in. Our party met on the decks of a trading vessel they all happened to get jobs on, known as the Cavalier, heading westward through the northern side of the world, through the Isle of Mist, or the Isla di Niebla. You were headed towards Coldshire, transporting general goods, when in the night your ship was attacked by some strange shadowy figures that seemed to be also in the area. You washed up on shore, managed to take a couple of days' trek to the town of Coldshire, find out that not everyone was lost, that Drob and the Drunk also made it off the boat, but other than him and yourselves, everyone else had died. You did some business around the town, were put up by a seemingly nice family, headed by a chap named Nindrin and his brother Faerun, who look after their grandfather, a super old gnome by the name of Didi, who had some strange suspicions about him. So you kind of investigated him a little bit. You went hunting with him. You heard about some rumours in the graveyard. Fuaro even caught him in the graveyard at one point. And after some digging around and Fuaro decided us being trapped in a cave, you fought off his pet, an owlbear that he tends to sick on people, so he can then pick their corpses clean of any valuables and buy food for his family to eat.
Cash for gold.
Yeah, cash for gold, essentially. But cash in as well is gold, so it's gold for gold, which seems a bit redundant.
Currency is the currency of the realm.
It is. Damn. Never saw it like that. You guys, while Cyphus and Fuaro managed to very expertly dispatch of the owlbear, the rest of the party, while giving chase through the woods, spotted Nindril, saw through his lies, and tied him to a tree. After a short interrogation and a few pleas that he made to River, Cyphus came back and killed him with spike growth. You guys held up in the mansion or the stately home, told them about what had happened in regards to Nindril, but created the story that he was attacked by an owlbear, and you guys only managed to get the beast. The morning arrived, and you noticed that 2 fresh ships were
We killed a guy.
just off the coast.
We didn't.
One by the name of Turi, captained by a very flirtatious dwarven fellow by the name of Captain Thorfey, and another ship called the Light's Bastion, a Midas trading ship that is captained by a silver dragonborn by the name of Captain Vrondis.
I don't think we
You
knew the ship's name.
had
Yeah, we did.
Did we know that?
Did you?
yeah.
Great names.
You just don't listen, Jamie.
Actively.
You met some of the crew members of Turi and worked out that they headed towards the city of Priangose and then through to Titan's Cradle, and that you are welcome aboard if you want to work for them. And Fuaro had a brief encounter with Captain Vrondis of Light's Bastion. A couple of people may have recognised Garv, we're not too sure as of yet, but he said he wouldn't mind meeting with you over dinner after you asked. So, as we hop back in, Mastella's been working in the forge all day. You've all kind of like been about kind of talking to the various captains, various crew members. It's come to the evening now. The sun has began to set, it's getting dark, and the tavern seems to be much busier than usual, which is where you happen to find yourselves. You bump into, what was his name? Arim Witt, the tiefling that of deep pink skin that Cyphus had kind of made acquaintances with, and as you all kind of like find your way to the tavern, assuming that's where you all would like to go, you see that it's pretty full. One side of the room you see there's kind of 2 tables that have kind of been pushed together with various chairs kind of scattered around. You can see Cypher sat at this table with one pink skinned tiefling who kind of has these horns that curl back, short mohawk. He's the person that you were told is Arim. You also see what appears to be a male orc, seems to be full blood orc, kind of 5 o'clock shadow, kind of tusks sticking out, kind of fairly muscly, not that muscly in comparison to other orcs, but still fairly well built, kind of like leaning over a pint. And you also see...
Shadow, you said? 5 o'clock shadow, you said?
Yeah.
This guy's fit.
Yeah, it is.
Damn.
Or is he? No, he's a 1.
Oh,
God, he hasn't shaved in a couple of days.
fucking huggo.
He's got like long mustache hairs.
It's got 1 mole with like 3 hairs.
And you also see a elderly half-elf lady, not elderly, but kind of a few strands of grey kind of creeping in, hair kind of tied back into a bun, all of which seems to just be kind of basic kind of workers' gear, apart from the tiefling who seems to be in some kind of leathers. They kind of walk over Cyphus, kind of waves at you guys, kind of beckons you over. As you kind of walk around towards the table, you see on the other side of the bar seems to be a table of about 8, 9 Midas company, all just kind of sat, just kind of quietly talking, all kind of have their breastplates and armour on and swords either to one side or leaning against the table. No, they don't seem to be paying any mind to their surroundings or you guys coming in, they're just kind of sat in casual conversation.
Oh no. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, might as well go join them.
Yeah.
Get a drink from the bar. And then, oh, what's the date today?
The date today is, I'm glad you asked because I've actually written it down.
Yeah, I needed to.
Yes, it's the 30th of Avon. The date is
You knew
Salvacot.
Yeah, I
Avon.
remembered it from last session.
It's in like AVON.
AYVIN.
It was the 29th last session.
Was it?
Mm.
Got
And
down.
what was the day again?
Salvacot. SALVAQUAT.
What time of day is it roughly?
Evening. It's about 8 o'clock. Just creeping over 8.
I'm gonna regret doing my HP like that.
Yeah, that's a really dumb idea.
Cute. I really
Oh
like
wow,
that.
yeah, that's
That's my favourite
Very
thing.
Breath
That's
of the
the
Wild.
best.
No, sorry. Actually, it would be no, because you only worked in the forge for 5 hours. It would be much earlier than that.
Oh.
It's about 5 o'clockish.
hey.
Yeah, so the sun hasn't quite set yet, but you see people are kind of coming here, kind of getting an early evening meal, as it seems most people seem to have finished their work of unloading kind of stocks from the ship
Mhm.
for the day.
Sick. I bust in the door with a big old bag full of sink boys.
Nice.
Can you carry it?
He's kind of dragging them
Yeah.
behind him.
I'll see as he kind of busts in. I'll just go over and like pick the bag up.
Thank you.
What?
I
I
have
assume these are for me anyway.
Oh yes, Isaiah. I have made 4 for you. This is what they look like. There's 4 of them, and they are in a bag. Thank you. And I'm gonna move over to the bar.
Right, that was easy. Yeah, I won't take them out of the bag yet. I'll keep them in the bag and just like sling it over my shoulder and go back to wherever I was sat before.
Yeah, so you've kind of got these bags of kind of like iron balls, like do you say with like hooks on them, Tom?
Sorry.
They're like iron balls with like hooks
Yeah,
on them.
basically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they've got like like that.
Balls.
Yeah, like balls.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it it's the what month?
Avin, AYVIN.
Which is the what month?
Oh, sorry, the 9th.
The 9th month. Why have I got 29 out of 30 written here?
29/the 30th. I think you thought it might go over to the next
Oh,
day.
was it the 30th? But
Yeah.
it didn't.
That session went over 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today is still the 30th.
Yeah, it's still the 30th. You started. So you rested last session, so you played the morning and
Yeah.
midday of the
Yeah.
30th.
Have we had attractiveness rolls for the 2 captains that have arrived?
Oh, we've not actually. So
Oi, oi.
Captain Thorfey is a 3, despite his
Wow.
despite how much he claims to get laid.
Really smooth talker.
And Captain
Yeah.
Vrondis is a 9.
Oh.
Oh my.
Silver Dragonborn, kind of very much a silver fox, but in a
Yep.
Dragonborn kind of way.
Oh boy.
Right. Well.
Right. Any couple lads? Is the captain here? Either of them.
No, neither.
No,
No.
cool.
You know that Thorfey is spending the night in the mayor's house.
So he is.
Oh yeah.
You're not sure where this went after he spoke to them.
Cool.
How many days until either ship departs again?
We're here tomorrow.
You know that the captain of Thorfey wanted to leave tomorrow before midday, but the crew have kind of been trying to convince him to stay a little bit longer.
Okay.
But you're not sure what the update is on that.
Okay.
Sorry, is
Um,
Thorfey the captain of Turi?
Yes, he is, and you're not sure about the mothership. It's not been discussed yet.
Don't matter.
Okay. Right.
Nice, well. We can have just a nice evening then. Nothing planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, till we see Thorthy.
As you kind of, are you just staying at the bar, or are you going to sit down as well?
We'll go to the tieflings.
Yeah.
As you sit down, you see as the male
Alright.
tiefling kind of leans back and goes, "All right, there, nice to meet you. Sorry, this is told us about you."
Hey, pleasure.
Right.
Sure. It's going to be quite easy to guess your names, I reckon, from the descriptions you gave me. So I'm going to guess your Fuaro, the big guy, or Garv, Musteller, River, and Nem. So you're the only normal-looking one out of the bunch.
That's a bit of rich coming from you.
It's not too. I never said not looking normal was bad.
I look normal. I am just very small.
Exactly.
I look
so
normal. I'm just very large.
Yes, not normal.
So
I look normal. I'm just a cat.
Either way, here it is.
okay.
I'm not normal. I'm not normal. I've just got pink skins, horns, and a tail.
Okay. It is unnecessary.
I'm pretty basic, honestly. Nothing I note about me.
You look just like my father.
No, Gav, I am your father.
Oh, you don't.
He's dead.
Oh. Anyway, this one here, he points to the orc, is Delg. He kind of looks up and goes, "Well, nice to meet you."
Right.
And this one here points to the lady is, what's her name? Kaeldrim.
Kaeldrim.
It's Kaeldrim, and she just kind of doesn't say anything, kind of raises a cup to each of you.
Rose up back.
So I understand from what we've been asked, and we spoke to our captain, here to join our crew. Or at least, well, that's what this boy's intentions seem to be like.
Yeah, it should be the plan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Get on board. At least we're going to
Priangose.
Priangose.
What,
See how we go from there.
What do you boys do aboard the ship?
Just this and that.
Kind of general question to the table.
Just this and that, really. We, me and the sis usually just move boxes or change the rigging. The kind of person just looks at his arms and goes, move boxes, move heavy stuff.
Well, I'll stick with you.
Yeah, you're probably going to do a better job of that than me. You notice this orc's kind of red of skin as well, kind of no head,
Ooh.
completely shaven head.
Red skin.
Yeah.
Like a peanut.
Do we like? Is that common for orcs? in this world? Like, are they usually red or?
Make a nature check.
Yeah, have I seen like a full-blooded
Actually, no, because
orc?
River immediately knows where he's from.
Oh.
You know that
Oh, okay.
in his
yeah.
bloodline at some point he comes from the Ridgeback Mountains.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Cool. Okay, cool. That's fun.
As that is where they, or you know that he would be mountainous at least,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
if not on your mountain range.
His name's Delg, right?
Yeah. Delg.
Mountain orc.
Mm. Okay. I'm probably just a little, cautious to chat to him fully.
But,
I don't know.
And Keldrim just comes as well. Just keep this one in line. Usually, cracker of the whip, but not literally.
Oh, no,
No whips, no. Lashing
No,
of
no.
the tongue, more likely.
oh.
Not in the way that Thorfinn would suggest.
Oh, this conversation's taking some ups and downs.
I like you a lot.
More time in this conversation than Lombard.
What about yourselves?
Well, we all came in on the ship together.
Mm-hmm.
That sank. So,
Unfortunate.
very. So
Great omen to bring us aboard, I
Yeah.
suppose.
We were attacked. We're a great crew beyond that.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
not fault of our own.
Oh, yes.
Good.
It wasn't that we sank the boat ourselves.
We fought off the ones who did. Just they were sneaky like.
Yes, usually got to get the jump on people.
You heard of any shadowy pirates attacking people?
Don't usually come this far north, so no, not really.
Good point. We've not thought about dealing with that at all.
Sorry,
Let's just
We're
happen.
ignoring it.
We're just whatever.
we have asked all we can.
Que sera, sera.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't answer your question. I do apologize. I am myself something of a navigator, and
I have dark vision, which I'm told you need on board.
Not needed, but it just puts your resume up the pile, so to speak.
I can take the night watch if needed.
We all can.
Well, this is Jamie Knopfwire. What's the name of someone who like steers the ship? Because I thought that was navigator.
Helmsman.
Helmsman.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
I'm a pretty sharp helmsman myself.
Interesting.
oh,
Could use an additional one.
Ooh.
If you say navigate, we've actually got that position fulfilled. You'd have a decent conversation with Avina on board.
Well, thank God we're bringing Tilden with us.
how does she navigate?
Maps and charts.
Okay. I can work with maps and charts.
Maps and charts. She hack.
She is weak. I myself navigate by the stars, and my friend here, I'm sure he's told you, he navigates by the sea.
Indeed, yes, he's mentioned. Well, interesting bunch, certainly.
Is Drubbin with us?
He seems to be sat at the bar.
He drinks a lot.
Yes,
Yeah, that's it.
noticed.
I think
He's,
he cooks. It was never really established what he did.
He's a cook. He
He's
made
a
us
cook,
some
yeah.
stews.
He did that one time, but he just kind of.
I assume he did it more than that one
Yeah, I'm
time.
assuming the weeks we were on the ship before, he probably cooked a lot.
I hope
We
so.
didn't actually eat before that.
No.
That was the only time.
That was the one time we could get him sober.
He wasn't though.
He wasn't.
That was even worse.
That's my dad. My dad's just like come
That's
into
your
the stream and like started posting about it's World Pangolin Day
Hey, Trev.
apparently.
Oh.
Shout out
That's
to
amazing.
Pangolin.
Hey.
I love that.
Penguins are incredible.
Hey.
Amazing.
So Doug kind of looks around and says, "Could do with a new chef on board."
What's wrong with the current one?
Gets a bit boring when you eat the same thing over and over.
What's the same thing while they cook?
Fish,
I like
dry. It's not really nice.
it. Hey, got them. Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, that does sound gross. Like
God.
They're fish. They're wet by default. So how do you get them dry?
Fish
There's
dry.
the protein you need, sure, but whatever protein is.
Well, the ones
We haven't quite figured out food.
eyes roll back into his head.
He pulls up like a weird container and then gets a little scoop and puts some powder in it. Mixes it up with his
I've no idea what the fuck this is.
gets me swole.
casting in large over a long period of time.
Exclusively all my muscle.
I'm gonna say, Gav, could I have a moment with you, just to discuss the bag?
Oh yeah, of course.
The previous message from Trev without context is honestly alarming.
Yeah.
If you ignore the Chinese eat their babies for dessert.
Also,
Sure, yeah.
spelled desert, unfortunately. So,
Yeah, for the desert gods, they eat them.
Only pangolin babies will suffice.
For dessert though, like it's a meat, surely.
I
It's a sweet
don't want to
meat.
engage it.
No. Okay. Gav. So I'm gonna make sure that there's no one Midas around who's listening.
Yeah,
if
so
I can.
where are you going? Just in the
Just
bar? Or
to the corner of the bar.
Yeah,
if
you
I can.
Yeah, they kind all might kind of gathered around one table, really. So yeah,
Just
you
away
could-
from
yeah.
them, basically. First of all, you may notice there is a couple more than I initially had pitched to you. This is because I have stolen some. Was it iron? Some iron from the Midas supplies.
That's good. Alright, cut enough. Alright.
Secondly, if you want to use them right away, this is absolutely fine. But if you want to, if you are happy to, how you say, save them for a short while, I was thinking I could maybe enchant them, so perhaps they will. When you wish, they will come back up, so they will sink people, and then you will retrieve them, so that they are not an only one-time opportunity.
Right, that's good. I had another thought as well.
Yes.
An enchanted rope that ties people up. And then they can't get out.
That exists, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a common item. You'd all be aware of this kind of item.
Yeah. This is something that exists. Would I be able to make something like that?
With given enough time, yeah.
I could potentially make something like this, or we could perhaps buy something. I don't know if Priangose is going to be the place where we could get something like that. But we could try. But yes, I absolutely. And if we get an enchanted rope, we could tie them onto an enchanted rope. They will tie around, and then they will sink. So, bingo, bango, bongo, the Sinky boys. I haven't got anything else to say.
Right, well.
Yeah, you keep talking.
You're not even here!
Now.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I like the lightning bolt.
Oh, this is an extra touch, I thought. Is this easy?
They are blessed by Fulmar, and they shall sink my enemies.
Wait.
You're right, laugh you are.
Right. How'd you get here?
I wandered over.
It's sneaky on you.
A little bit. Light
Yeah,
up
I
my
mean,
feet.
this is all. If you want me to, if you want for me to enchant them, then just let me know. But I cannot carry them all over because
That's
I am
fine,
small.
I've got it.
Okay. Just give me a shot.
You see, as you kind of make your way back to the table, you see as Aaron kind of leans in a bit and goes, "So, any of you lot ever been to Priangose before?"
Have I? On my world
Would I
travels?
have been?
I know I've heard of it.
You
that's
wouldn't
what I know.
have. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. You probably wouldn't have. It's the closest pirate city to your home. so
Then
if
I
you
would
wanted
have,
to,
yes. That is probably where I got my ass kicked.
Wow.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Beautiful city.
Lovely place. I might spend more time there.
Oh, yeah, well, that's where we're apparently headed. So, if you are fortunate enough to just join us for the journey,
I'd love to.
it'll be great.
Can't wait.
Pirate capital, so to speak. Not really got a capital, but I guess if there were one, that'd be it.
Just to double check, did they say not that we've got a capital or not that they've?
Huh?
Did the way they spoke there, so not that we've got a capital, not that they've got a capital?
Dave.
Dave, okay, never mind. Can I insight and see if they seem piratey? It's pretty good for an insight. Plus 3, 19.
Okay. You feel like you're not 100% sure, but there may be something there, maybe some subtext to what he's saying. He's a bit hard to read. You think maybe there's some subtext, but you're not entirely sure if there's anything to actually go on.
Fair enough.
Do you mind just asking what your business is, what you're trading, what you're bringing with you?
Just stacks of food, really. Food, quality rum, general shit. We just kind of take whatever people are moving and we move it for them.
Makes sense.
It's kind of the main business we go into. I had a few run-ins with a few nasty lot, but that's why the hull's been reinforced. But
What kind of nasty lot?
just got people looking to steal the stocks. Took some cannon fire back in the day, but made it up by the skin of our teeth. Captain thought, you know what, best upgrade.
It's a beautiful little,
So
beautiful
you got
landing
a
battle.
reinforced hull.
Reinforced hull, yeah.
beyond the reinforcements, any armaments or just?
No, we need as much room as we can to take stock.
Okay.
So yeah, we like moving big shipments. Really, that's where the high-tech items are. That you can move whatever, and people pay more for it. So more gold for us.
Nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
Great.
Shall we drink?
Yeah.
So of course,
Yes,
we have been drinking. What have you been doing?
Part of their tank is kind of like
Oh no.
cheers it.
Nobody got one for me, so that's fine.
We all got one for ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got you one yesterday because I'm trying to, you know, show good faith.
Yeah, so anyone who buys a drink, it's a gold per. So.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Because it's not great ale. There's nothing fancy. You see, as like kind of the Midas table seems to get a bit more raucous, kind of like laughing, kind of people over their swide kind of enjoying their conversations. And you notice as the door kind of like opens, or not thrown open, but definitely opened with force. And you see as a tall, dark-skinned human male walks in with this kind of almost like chin strap of a beard, kind of hair that seems to be shaved at the sides, but kind of like spiked up and towards the front, kind of a breastplate on. Kind of seems to be of higher station than the men that are in here, but not as fancy as the clothes you saw Captain Vrondis wearing. Kind of walks in, kind of looks around, kind of sees the table. You see as they all kind of notice it one by one, they all kind of like stop laughing, kind of go back to their drinks, kind of quiet conversation. He kind of turns, looks around, kind of spots you and walks directly over to you and goes, Master Fuaro, I believe. Yes,
I'm like this.
here on behalf of Captain Vrondis.
Oh yeah.
He said possibly some conversations over dinner.
Yeah, I'd like that.
He has invited you to join him on Light's Bastion. If you would like to come with me, I can escort you there now.
Thank you very much. I'm on my way. So right. Have a good night, lads.
Going alone?
I'll be fine.
Is it more than 200 feet away from here?
It is, yeah.
You can't.
It'll be fine.
Hope so.
Kind of walks out with you, kind of leads you to like a rowboat that's been pulled up, and he kind of gets in and takes you.
Before I leave, I put 5 gold down the table. Buy yourselves a round.
See?
Drink to my memory.
I'm halfway through this drink and I'm already like.
It's an addiction coming out of the cell.
Roll for addiction.
He kind of he gets in the rowboat, kind of pushes it out with you in it, wades out, climbs up, and takes yours and begins rowing.
So what do you mean, my
That's
friend?
not what I want.
I'm one of the officers, Officer Dygan.
Dygan, right? Yeah, I'm a Fuaro. Pleasure.
Of course, yes, nice to meet you. They weren't causing too much trouble in there, a lot, were they?
No, not at all.
Good, yes. They've been at sea for quite some time now, so looking to let their hair down.
I can understand.
Yes.
Tell myself many a time.
Gives them the shits whenever whenever they see me. I always seem to get their act in for some reason, but
It's good to command respect, I assume.
He's the human equivalent.
True,
of
but I mean,
Brown
everyone
Note.
likes to put their feet up every now and again. It's just kind of rowing. You're rowing for about 10-15 minutes as it kind of you come out to the ship. You see this kind of large ship as a rope ladder is kind of like thrown down the side. Not that you need it.
Yeah, I fly up.
You see as Dragon seems to like climb on up, kind of going, and he kind of gestures towards the captain's quarters, towards the back of the ship.
Mhm.
You see a handful of crew members kind of working here. You can see people who aren't in any kind of armour or anything. They seem to just be crewmates in what you would know to be the bog standard kind of Midas uniform with lots of blues and golds.
The cloak is billowing, that's all. We're all
Of course. You see, you kind of catch a few eyes from the crewmates who are just kind of either carrying stuff or scrubbing down the deck. And look, you see there's some guards there, some just kind of like talking, a few kind of chewing tobacco, that kind of stuff. And you certainly catch everyone's eye as you walk through,
Yep.
cloak billowing like a
I nod, I wave to a few, yeah.
Yeah, so some of them just kind of return the nod.
Looking imposing
visually.
and powerful and cool.
As you walk on in, you walk into an office through some double doors, these kind of oak-stained, kind of stained glass window kind of doors that kind of push through into this 20-foot by 30-foot chamber. It seems to be quite big for a captain's quarters, almost. You see the entire back of the opposite wall is just all stained glass that looks out onto the sea behind it, kind of with this weird kind of dappled effect with different colours. And you can see this large round table in the centre that seems to be adorned with various kinds of foods. There seem to be different kinds of meats, vegetables, various side dishes. There seems to be a bottle of red, a bottle of white, and a bottle of rum kind of in the centre of the table. You see as Vrondis is kind of still in his breastplate, you see the sword has been kind of taken off and kind of leaned to one side. He kind of stands up to greet you as you come in and says, Captain Fuaro, not Captain, Master Fuaro.
Oh, Captain's fine, please. And I bow to him.
And he kind of nods and he kind of pulls out a chair for you and goes, please sit, eat.
I take a seat. My weapons are still on me, but I
Yeah,
unstrap my sword and put it near where I'm sat, still within arm's reach.
Yeah, he acknowledges it, kind of sits down, not opposite you, but kind of like at an angle from you. It's an air of kind of informality kind of here. You see there's kind of like a bed off to one side, and the opposite side seems to be this kind of large kind of dresser with a desk next to it. He says, "So, you wanted to talk over dinner?"
Yes.
He kind of grabs like a leg of lamb and just kind of just puts it on his plate and just kind of gestures for you to help yourself as well.
Yeah, go on, help myself. This technically counts as stealing, so I'm okay with it.
Is this no? It doesn't. Is this guy? Is this the captain? Sorry.
This is the captain of the minor ship.
But he's just said to you, eat. That ain't stealing.
Yeah, I didn't buy it though. That's what matters.
Okay.
As long as I didn't purchase it
You
myself.
can't trade with Midas. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean that's fine, but like also.
And those rules only come in when you are captain as well.
So I said I'd help myself. So, yes, myself and my friends were looking for passage across the sea. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind taking on, 7 of us.
That could be provided, yes.
Where may I ask, are you heading?
We're on express orders to make our way back to the capital, Port Royal.
Capital, excellent.
Indeed, stopping off there and then moving on to wherever we're sent to next.
Sounds nice.
So, how did you come to be on this isle? I understand I heard whispers of a shipwreck.
Aye, it's quite a sail. We were sailing on the, what's the ship's name?
The Cavalier.
We were sailing on a Cavalier, a little trading vessel, lovely piece of work, but we were attacked in the night by some shadowy figures of some description.
Shadowy?
Yes, like billowing, smoky things. Their ship certainly could teleport. They could teleport on and off the ship, and they dropped some black powder in the hull, blew it to pieces.
Nasty tactics.
Very, very unpleasant.
Not one for a fair fight.
No.
Dishonourable.
If they'd had a fair fight, then that would not have gone so well for them.
Of course.
I can tell you that for true.
Shadowy figures don't ring any bells, but yes,
Shame.
anyone who fights underhandedly is somewhat of a coward in my books.
I agree. Can I insight whether he does know anything or not?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good insight. That's 22.
Yeah, you see him kind of ponder it for a second, and you get the feeling, he's clueless
Okay.
as to what it is.
Cool.
Kind
No problem. I mean, we survived. We move on. Not much that we can do about it now. So find him one day.
Of course. And these friends or acquaintances that you've got stranded with,
Yes,
they're good friends, close friends,
we've known each other for a couple of months now. Yes,
of course, working together.
of course. We had got 2 navigators. Fantastic at their work. We've got
Very handy for a ship.
We have a paladin, tabaxi, so they see in the dark, and also with the your religious side of things. We have a somewhat of a seer who can see the future, tell us what's going to go down.
Interesting.
And we also have.
Is that you?
That's what I'm saying. She is. And we also have a big fella, my bodyguard, called Biggins.
Big
Big fella.
Christopher?
of picks up the bottle of wine, kind of refills his glass, kind of pours you a glass as well.
Yep, cool.
He says, well, I've got somewhat of a proposition for you, Poirot.
Oh, go on.
I can offer you safe passage
Oh, excellent.
on the ship as honorary guests. Take you to Port Royal, food along the way, and then should you want to go further than that, even that as well.
Fantastic.
Even maybe a small coin in exchange for something.
What would that something be?
Well, a couple of my crew members decided to have a conversation with me earlier.
That's nice of them.
Whether you would know it or not, your bodyguard, Biggins, they believe he's a wanted man.
Is that so?
Apparently, escaped from the person who rightfully owned him.
Doesn't sound like my
Killed
Biggins.
killed a couple of people in the fray. Kind of hard for them to not recognize a beast like that with a.
He's a big lad, I'll give him that. That's where he got the name from. But no, he's from a tribe. Lots of people like him about.
You get him on this boat. You take him to Port Royal. I hand him over to White Harbour. Never liked the man, but I mean, for freed slaves, he's always offering a nice price. And I'll cut that with you and send you on your merry way.
Okay.
You've got safe passage back to shore, at least.
I certainly got that.
For you to think over.
Okay, I'll have a think.
Of course,
Everyone
though,
kind of leans in.
you must.
I feel you're mistaken on this man's identity. I've been with Biggins for several years now, more than half my life, and at no point has he ever mentioned anything about slavery.
Okay. Roll a deception check.
Going to
Several years.
Oh!
How crit did you crit?
I didn't crit, but it's not great.
I don't want to
Deception.
die, man.
Oh, that's not bad. 6.
Okay. He kind of has a deep kind of stare at you. Kind of grabs his wine glass. I've actually got a prop.
Yeah.
That's a chalice, Dan.
He grabs his chalice. He grabs the chalice.
Well,
Kind of part.
regardless or not, my men are certain of this. And harbouring a known fugitive, a pirate, and then absconding with one obviously has dire consequences.
Of course.
We wouldn't be able to give chase as we are new back in the capital, but
A shame.
we now know who he's with.
Well, as I say, this is all news to me. I'll keep an eye on him I'll ask him some questions. If this comes up before morning, and I'm sure I will come back to you, and we will join in your passage. If not, I'll let you know also.
Indeed. Well, I'm afraid I must. I've got some books to fill out. Please take some food with you for the. I'd say for the road, but for the waters,
For the
I
sea,
guess.
yes. Do we have roads yet?
Oh, apparently.
Oh, nice, nice.
Not been home yet. They've just been installing them.
Oh. Oh, yes, I'll bring a bit, and
What mine has ever done for us?
Roads and
Mm.
systems.
I'll take what I can.
Yeah, so you can take like basically handfuls and
Yeah.
fill up some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole meal.
Yeah. I take off my cloak and just pile it all in and tie it up over my shoulder. Nice, well, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Again, I'll speak to you in the morning about our decision.
Consider it.
I shall. Thank you very much for your time.
Kind of raises the glass to you kind of as you're leaving.
I raise mine.
And as you kind of like leave and go to turn around, you see above the door, what you didn't see last time, seems to be an emblazed symbol on like a shield, kind of that's carved in. That seems to be of a dragon's profile, kind of facing off to the left.
Nice.
And you would commonly know this to be a symbol of Bahamut.
Oh no, I like Bahamut. Right, yeah, I walk on out.
You are the same kind of escorted. If you want to be rowed back, they will row you back.
I will fly back.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You flying back. In the meantime, in the tavern, you see as Dirk kind of leans forward and says,
So, you guys, if you think of coming on our ship, you are interested in any kind of competitions, banter, taking a piss out of each other? I tell you, you got to be got some stones to go on this ship.
All of the above.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, that's all we did on the other ship.
I am
Good.
used to it.
Imagine so, little one.
See?
When you say competitions, is gold on the line?
Best competitions always have gold on the line.
Couldn't agree more.
What would be a worthy competition if not?
Okay, I'm in.
What kind of competitions take place?
Cards, dice, arm wrestles.
That's more my cup of tea.
I thought so. Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna have to turn you down. I thought if you want one, I wouldn't go into a losing battle. Something else on board might though.
Fair enough,
But
to
they-
be honest.
they make one and decide not to.
Would an arm wrestle between me and Garv even be possible?
I mean, he'd roll at advantage regardless, and you'd be rolling at this regardless.
And he could hold your whole body in his hand.
Yeah, that he could.
It's a body wrestle.
You're in, yeah. It's just you like against his hand as he's like just pushing you off the table.
No, I was just wondering.
You could bite him and then
I don't think I could fit any part of him in my mouth.
no, but like a little bit.
Definitely one part. Just.
Little
I'm not
finger.
even sure.
Yeah, little finger.
God.
It's that image of the hamster with the banana.
So while Faro's gone for the next like half an hour, 40 minutes or so, is there anything else you guys would like to do in the tavern?
I'm going to pocket that gold and say that Fuara gave and just assume that it paid for my previous drink. because I don't want to, because I'll die.
Yeah, I'm not actually drinking because I'm on edge, so yeah, I'll just also pocket 1 gold.
Yeah, you see as after that the town human gentleman left, the Midas guy seems to have got a bit more raucous again, kind of laughing and chatting loudly.
River, after a couple of drinks, might chat to Dirk a little bit and just inquire as to his background.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
Oh no, just place I grew up, Ridgeback Mountains. You might know them.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Apparently my ancestors come from around those parts.
I was going to ask if you were from there, if you'd visited.
Never been, nah. My mother and father were.
Okay.
As my grandparents, but nah, never been myself.
Any notable names, or just your average mountain family?
Urga, that was her name. Don't know if that would ring a bell. They left quite young.
Would it ring a bell? Probably not.
You wouldn't have heard of anyone from that
Cool.
tribe. You kind of you know the main name
Yeah,
from
I
that
was
tribe.
say, yeah,
but,
that's what I was looking for. In that case, an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, kind of like clap your hand, kind of feels the strength there.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't mind going to visit. I mean, I guess they're kind of family in a weird way.
I'm not planning on going back anytime soon, but yes, I totally recommend a visit.
Well, got a job to do first. So.
Exactly.
And what about you? You live there in the mountains?
I grew up there. Yes, it's not my home per se, but yes, it's where I grew up. It's where I spent my childhood, where I learned who I am.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting place to grow up.
Yeah, it seems you grew up where I should have grew up.
Quite. Where did you end up growing up?
Was born down in Titan's Cradle actually, but didn't stay for long. Not long enough to call it home. Parents like to travel a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We actually went. What's the name of the fucking place? Raised mainly in Farangor.
Oh.
Just moving wood, chopping wood, fighting.
Excellent. All excellent professions.
Yeah, I had to leave eventually, but always go. See calls.
Okay. Can I do an insight check if there's more to the reason he left than that?
Yeah, sure.
Cool, thanks. Ooh, that's good.
We're 3 sessions in. I think we've done more insight checks in this campaign than all of the others.
That's a 20, not now.
Yeah, there's definitely someone he's not.
Yeah,
He's not lying. He's not lying to you, but yeah, there's
He's
just
just
definitely a
keeping
reason he
coming
left.
Yes, I understand a necessity to leave a place, let's say.
As do I.
What about you? Where are you from?
You heard of the Itvar tribe?
Nah.
Probably didn't expect you to. I'm the chieftain, actually.
Chieftain out this far.
Yeah, kind of technical.
You see the tiefling Aaron kind of with his feet up, kind of on the table, kind of leaning back, goes, "Sure, you're a chieftain. I'm fucking king of all of Midas.
You believe what you want to, mate.
Take my time.
Surely if you had a
This is my greatest
surely if
rival.
you were the ruler of a tribe, you'd be with your tribe.
I didn't want to be, I wanted to leave, but the only way to do so was
Oh,
to become the chieftain.
So you're a reluctant chieftain, so to speak.
Somewhat.
Well, if you ever want to pass the mantle on, I've always wanted to rule a small town. Just saying.
You're not of my bloodline, so it would be rather dishonourable.
Lofty ambitions this man has.
Alright, fair enough.
I'm going to own your family.
I'm going to own a small town in the world.
You are, of course, welcome to challenge me, though.
Challenge you. I think the only thing I'd want to challenge you in is a game of wit or intelligence. I think if it came to strength, you'd throw me out the fucking ship.
Probably.
Yeah, the only thing I'd probably stand a chance against.
God, would you have told the party before that you were a chieftain? Like, would River have known that?
I've certainly said it, whether it's true or not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, just cool. I'm just deciding my opinion on that.
So I think I'm gonna get around in. What do you want?
Cranberry juice.
Right. You kind of as you kind of walk in, Aaron's kind of like standing up, kind of like stretches out, kind of a little bit. You see the tail kind of like stretch out as well, kind of prehensively. You see his father walks in with like a bundle, kind of on his side.
I got dinner, lads. And I put it down the table.
Is that the gap?
No, we're not going to eat him.
You see as you kind of like lay it down, Aaron kind of like grabs a bit of meat and just goes, "Drink what you want," and kind of throws it up, catches it in his mouth.
Hey, rum.
Gotcha. goes off, kind of gets you all around the drinks, kind of like comes, puts them down. You see the tails kind of carrying two of them, kind of like, sits them all down on the table.
Is that the equivalent of Captain Morgan's rum in this world, and what's it called?
Not yet.
It's called Estate Agent Tim.
There's a guy in a suit with just like a clipboard, just like.
This is a ridiculous fantasy.
Knee up on a printer.
What were they smoking when they came up with this?
I sit down next to the guys there. Yeah, they're on to us.
Alright, we should leave. See.
Well, don't know if these guys are what the captain is.
I had a feeling his two lackeys were
They tipped him off here. That's what happened.
might have noticed me when we first encountered him.
Hey.
I set a DC and one of them crit, and I was like,
Ah.
"Fuck! All right, yeah." He totally recognises it.
Yeah. I laid down a story. Don't know if they believed it. You're going back as Biggins for a while.
Oh, don't.
Are we all hearing this, or is it just you two?
I mean, I'd be saying it quietly.
So that's obviously anyone who can. If you're trying to hide it, you can roll. I guess just a. What do you?
Sleight of mouth?
Yeah, sleight.
I guess is it kind of deception?
I'm happy to roll deception.
Yeah, I guess it's.
Yeah, both you roll deception. Anyone wants to listen?
I would like to try this.
Anyone who wants to listen in roll perception.
23.
14.
Oh, dang. 7.
4.
No, not 20.
Cool. So you hear all of Garv's side. You don't pick up any of Fuaro's. Cyathus also picks up all of Garv's side.
Nice, well.
I can't really whisper. This is as quiet as I go.
Yeah, you can see.
I think it's more than no one understands what the fuck I'm saying most of the time.
You can see they are like whispering and hiding conversation.
Fortunately, no one can beak read.
I leave the bar and come back in wearing the bedsheet and toga.
Biggins!
Master Aldoon.
Oh. Biggins Aldoon, that was it, right.
Biggins out. Was this previously discussed?
Yeah. Biggins was. Against
Was
your
it?
will.
What, discussed in the sense that you had a conversation with yourself.
Yeah. Well, we spoke to those guards. I called you Biggins, and that's what we're sticking with.
Fair enough.
God, I hate it.
Garv doesn't love it either. Hold on.
Improvise at the time. Anyway, yes, we won't be travelling with them.
That would probably be a bad idea. What did they offer you?
Of gold. And safe passage.
How much am I worth?
Did he say how much it was?
Didn't say.
I didn't
He
get
said
that.
a night. He did say that White Harbour was offering a
Pretty pen.
like a nice coin purse.
A single penny.
Oh, that's good.
It's a nice one, but
I'm worth way more than that,
much worth. Yeah.
as you well know.
Yeah. You're expensive. Okay.
Where is it going?
Oh, they're going to the capital.
Oh, I really don't want to go there.
No,
Let's not go.
let's not go with
Let
them.
us not go. That is.
So, these dwarves.
Yeah, dwarves.
They
need a-
seem nice.
Hey, we're not all dwarves. There's only 3 of them on board.
There's only 3.
That's a higher amount than we've got in our party, so they'll.
This was pitched to me as a dwarf ship.
It was.
No.
That is what the mayor said when we arrived.
Well, dwarves is in the captain's dwarf. So it's a dwarf's ship.
Nice.
Okay.
Dwarf's ship.
All right.
It's a dwarf's ship rather than
Right.
a dwarf ship.
Sorry, it's a bit hard to understand your voices sometimes.
Don't worry, I know the feeling.
I quickly. Yeah, fuck it. I step up to the bar for a bit.
Yeah.
Get myself another drink. Come on and say, hey, could you get a nice glass of red wine on me and just take it over to the Midas slot? Just
Yes,
one.
of course.
Thanks.
Slips
No,
of sight.
I want just standard red wine or nice red wine?
Standard.
Standard, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a gold again.
Yeah.
Just one glass for all of them.
Yeah.
Gonna takes it over. Yeah, I love Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
But I don't get the joke. I don't think I'm
It's
saying
an episode of Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good episode of Always Sunny.
They're all in the diner and they pass over and they send each other wine. It's great.
Yeah. They're gonna send back the most expensive wine in the place.
Pour it out.
So yeah, he kind of like takes it over the Midas, like, kind of puts it. Would you have told him to say it was from you?
No, just
He
take it.
kind of goes, puts it down. You see them all kind of like look at it a bit. You see one of the female ones kind of like grabs it and just slams it in one. Kind of.
She instantly dies.
Yeah,
It wasn't poison. You were just waiting.
No,
for it to
she
hurt.
was the target.
There's a bullet in there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they're still made of lead. so,
Yeah, no, it's poison.
And she kind of drinks it, pushes the glass back, and the guy kind of takes it back and kind of goes back to the bar. You see Droppin still there, kind of like just asleep on the bar, kind of arm kind of like around a bottle.
Okay.
Right.
He's okay.
Right, so, Jeps, and,
Femma chaps.
right, Jeps is just an ungendered term for me. Where are we staying tonight? Are we going back to the mansion, or are we...
I mean, I think we should see if we can tag along with these guys, stay on their ship, if that's where they're sleeping.
That's what I was going to
Nice.
say.
I would like to do this.
I'd like to do that,
I
yeah.
think I'm going to be a lot safer there.
I agree.
It might be a good idea, yes.
Great, and I stand up. Right, next round's on me, just to everyone from the dwarf ship.
Cool. So that means that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm not drinking.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm
So
sorry,
four
I'm
and
not
then
drinking
four,
either.
three.
So 8.
There's 3 then,
fucking
so 7.
wanker.
7 go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's mighty nice here, thank you.
No worries. To a hopefully fruitful friendship between us all.
The elf cauldron says, "Yes, thank you very much. I think I'm going to retire. Actually, it was lovely to meet you all.
Where are you staying?
I'm going to be going back to the ship. We've got 2 rowboats docked up. You see his dad kind of
Oh, nice.
stands up and goes, "Yeah, don't worry, Cal. I'll row you back." Aaron just kind of looks around and goes, "Any of you lot staying up or?"
I'll stay with you for a while.
I'll stay for a
Yeah.
while.
We
yeah.
don't actually have anywhere to sleep. We were wondering if you could perhaps have us on the boat.
They kind of look at each other a bit. Roll persuasion.
Okay.
I'll persuade you, won't you?
Relatively.
Oh, 21.
Aaron kind of like looks. You see his kind of like shoots him a little bit of a look, and he just kind of shrugs and goes, "Yeah, sure. I mean, Captain said he'd be interested in having you anyway. I mean, no harm having you on board one day early. You can kind of see the ship, scope it out a little bit, see what's what. I mean, if you're going to be joining us,
Hey, fantastic.
sure.
Well, lads.
Well, should we just? How about I'll grab a bottle and we'll take us back to the ship.
Get 3.
Oh, if we go back to the ship, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Like the style. Well, tell you what, I'll grab the bottles. Big guy, you do the rowing.
That sounds fair.
What?
Should we,
We're gonna need a lot more if you're gonna bring him.
should we put a decoy in a bed in Nyquil's house so that
We're having a very loud conversation about a place that we've just told other people we don't have anywhere to stay.
no, but we cannot stay there anyway.
We can.
No,
I mean, we should. We
no, we cannot
technically
stay.
can,
No.
but we really shouldn't.
No, morally we cannot stay there.
But we can put stuff in their beds.
Yeah, we can sneak in, put decoys in the beds, and then leave. Just to freak them out in the morning when they find.
How are we going to put a decoy gun?
We're gonna break in.
We like so much stuff.
Yeah, we're all staying with you tonight, but we're gonna make it look like we are for some reason.
I wasn't doing character voice. We're not saying this, are we?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, okay.
Well, you see as Cal and Doug have left, and Aaron's currently at the bar getting some bottles anyway. So you've got a brief moment to yourself.
Why do you think we should leave a decoy?
I don't know, just if
He's having it again.
no, did you say that?
Oh, he's almost down to 1 with Fox.
no, this is warm now. I know I won't be finishing this.
Alright then.
Hey.
No, did you not say that there was a possibility that the Midas were looking for you? That the Midas were looking for you.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did I not hear any? You had said that the Midas people might be looking for you.
Said he was
but
wanted,
they were
but
trying to
not.
hide it from you.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No, but you said that.
Yes, last night he said he was like
You
a
said
wanted,
you
but
were
not
a
to be
wanted.
recognised.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like,
And when the Mustela assumes that, that's...
yeah. Well, that's almost Mustela. Just if you're a wanted man, Midas are probably looking for you. So yeah, that's what Mustela
To
said.
some degree.
I'm not personally, guys. This isn't my idea. It's Mustela's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still looking for me to some degree. I don't really care though.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. We don't need a decoy. Well, they're gonna break into someone's house.
don't know. I do think we look more guilty with decoys as well.
Yes, no, yes, wait. No.
Okay, I guess that's...
Shall we suit the boat?
Sounds great.
Yes.
Sees Aaron kind of at that point, kind of comes back over. Yeah,
So, do we want to bring Whitescale with us, or is he just gonna?
I carry him like a baby.
We know
Okay.
where he'll be in... Oh, okay.
he kind of like roll a perception check.
It's not good. 7.
You see as he kind of as one eye kind of opens, realizes what's going on, and he kind of like moves his bottle up to his mouth and just
And then kind of like snuggles
nods
into
in
you
a bit.
I love him.
You're adorable.
Adorable drunken bastard.
He farts.
I shoot himself.
So as you all eventually make your way back, you see as Aaron's kind of got in the bandoliers where guns would be. He's managed to like slide in bottles, and he's got one.
Clever.
He's got one that's kind of open that he's kind of drinking and passing around as you kind of make your way back.
Accidentally pulls out a pistol instead. Puts it into his mouth.
Third time this week.
So I put my bottles in there.
So we lost the last captain.
So you eventually row back.
Pulls out a wide bottle.
The sun now has started to set as the evening's kind of pressing on, and you kind of get to the boat. You can see as Dirk and Cal are also still there, kind of on deck, just kind of sat, just kind of like chatting on stools. You can see someone up in the crow's nest, kind of like just keeping watch. He seems to have a spyglass, and you don't seem to see anyone else kind of on the ship. They either all are below deck or somewhere else in the town currently. As you're kind of like all brought up on deck, you see it's a fairly large boat. It's larger than the Cavalier was, but it's not a big big ship by comparison. But yeah, it seems to be all right. It seems to be well kept at least. So as you kind of get on, you see Aaron kind of like pulls another bottle out, kind of uncorks and goes, "Well, welcome to Artillery. This will be where you're calling home for a little bit, I guess, if you're joining us. But in the meantime, kind of chucks a bottle to the 2 bottles to either anyone who wants them." Goes and grabs some stools, and you all begin chatting away into the night. If there's anything in particular you'd like to discuss, or we can just skip on.
Where will we sleep?
Oh, we've got our quarters downstairs. We've got a few spare hammocks and stuff. Unfortunately, nothing big enough for you, friend. But,
I assumed so.
We'll sleep on deck under the stars. Fine by me.
Yeah, we can bring some cloths up and the rags from the old sails.
I just need one blanket.
Sure. Sorted. Well, you'll get to meet the rest of the crew in the morning, probably. They're alright, most of them. But yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grab one of the other bottles and
Smash someone over the head with it. And the brawl begins.
They will do so.
I really wanted to start a bar fight with the Midas people. I really
as soon as there's a non-Midas bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you will go off into the night. You take a long rest over this time.
Yep.
And we'll do our second ever, I need to come up with a witty name for it or something. The thing that you did in the first session.
The
tail.
rest.
Tails.
Yeah, there we go.
This time, Kane.
Oh.
Roll D4 for me.
Roll a d4 for you. It's a 3.
Story. So story of love, story of loss. No, story of love, story of gain, a story of
Love.
Loss.
No, it's love, gain, loss, pain. So a story of loss.
Oh gosh.
Wait one moment, I'm desperate for a pee.
Okay, great. I'll stall for a moment.
Giving you some time.
Yeah. So you're all just kind of gathered there. You see as another member of the crew kind of joins up seemingly for the night watch. You see as a gentleman kind of climbs down from the crow's nest. Seems to be a half-orc fella. Not that muscly, but kind of is a bit more well kept. He's got a kind of a clean-shaven face, kind of like hair, kind of about medium length, kind of slicked over to one side. So he's wearing kind of basic like this, has like a spyglass, kind of like sheathed almost, like in the same place a blade would be. Kind of comes down, kind of scans you lot. Kind of he looks tired, so he just kind of like gives like a welcoming nod to each of you.
Hi.
And then says, "All right. I'm not gonna lie, I'm too tired for pleasantries, but I'm sure I'll get to know you soon. I'm
Sure
usually
you
on
will.
night watch. Name's Yerk. I'll catch you in the morning."
Hello, yeah. Sleep well.
Like yeah, and kind of like goes back down. You see as someone else kind of comes up to take his place, and you see a elven gentleman, kind of like long black hair that seems to be tied into a ponytail behind him. Kind of comes out and just goes, "Interesting lot. And what wonders he brought us this time, Arim?" And he just goes, "Well, looks like they're going to be joining the crew. They had a chat with the captain, and he seemed to like him, so whatever. And
We're a likeable bunch.
yes, well, sure you are. I'm looking forward to getting to know the rest of you. Well, my name is Velos. I'm the night watcher and also a part-time cook as well.
Excellent. Well, you'll get on with this one and that one. I'll point out.
Yeah.
What was the name? Sorry.
It was Ivelos.
Ah, you're the cook they were slagging off.
He kind of looks to the others, and Aaron just kind of like does that, and he just goes, "Yes, I suppose I was."
I thought the banter thing. No. I thought we were going to roast each other.
Aaron kind of turns and goes, "Well, come on, you make the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. There's only so much fish we can have." And he's like, "And we'll be fish again tomorrow then. Especially for you, Aaron. Well, if there's anything else you prefer, do let me know. But trust me, Aaron won't be eating unless it's fish. Good night. I'll be up top.
I'm a pretty good fisherman. I'll help you out catching them.
I imagine you are. It's kind of useful, definitely.
I've got beard eyes.
Yeah, if you kind of like climb it up, he
You've
goes,
got beard eyes.
Beard eyes.
"Well, I've got elf eyes, so I imagine we'll be quite a good combo together."
What do you have I see?
I'll tell you when I get to the top. Carries on climbing up to the crow's
Are
nest.
those eyes in a beard or beards for
Like
eyes?
beards for eyes. I was
It's
picturing
funnier than
hair
what I
just
think.
pouring out.
Nice.
I've hit puberty. No!
Shaving them every morning.
I remember when I grew my first beard eyes.
Oh,
So glad to be a woman.
Yeah.
well, and with that lovely note, River.
So a tale of loss then. So I guess we're just sat around kind of talking and
Yeah, you've pulled up stalls, barrels, that kind of
Like a
stuff.
campfire.
The ship's on fire.
I lit it, it's fine. I'll put it out before it does any major damage. You got any black powder? You really have this goal.
you know, Miss Stella,
Yes.
I used to know someone a lot like you.
Okay.
Less irritating,
Oh.
generally, but
Thank
you know, young, sprightly.
Less irritating, impossible.
Wait. Wait. Are you saying I'm not irritating?
Yeah, that was a compliment.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh.
You tiny twip.
Oh.
I like this ship.
This was the same as he has a ship.
No, this one's got like metal. Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
Just unrelated to the conversation. This is a nice sheep.
Well, I mean, as you know, I have no love for the capital and no desire to go back, and I don't think any of us do. Cheers. But that's not to say there aren't things there to like, let's say. I actually had this person who reminded me of you was a very close friend of mine, a small boy. Worked in a bakery, actually.
I'm not a boy, I am a man.
You look like a boy.
I'm small.
You act like a boy.
I'm yet to see you with a beard, and shaving's not that good yet.
Okay.
You are a child. Anyway, he was, I suppose, my protege. You know, I don't take on responsibility lightly, but he took a shine to me. And we were very, very good friends. Got on incredibly well. He looked up to me, which is a feeling that I quite enjoy. And
Shame you won't get it again.
thank you, Fuara. You are charming as ever.
I've never stopped.
I really hope you don't have a high charisma score. Such an asshole. Well, as you know, I was forced to flee the capital, and just before I left, Pud, the little boy, refused to speak to me, and I think I have a good idea why. Probably to do with the reason I can't go back. But yes, possibly the only time in my life that I've been sad to say goodbye to somebody.
Why can't you go back if you don't mind me asking?
I have a temporary ban from visiting the capital.
Aight.
Yes, just temporary. I'm sure I can go back one day. But yes, there are some people who would not appreciate me going back.
Would I know what sort of thing would, being from Port Royal, would I know what sort of thing would like cause you to receive a temporary ban? Like what gets sentenced with a temporary
What level of crime?
Yeah, so you would just, generally speaking, you would know that it wouldn't be anything to do with piracy.
Okay.
It would probably be either kind of general it wouldn't be like just a general like misdemeanor crime, but it would be fairly serious. So either suspected treason or heavy assault or kind of like heavy arson. It's any crime, but to a bit more serious degree, but not serious enough to kind of be thrown behind bars or killed. But it's not like a slap on the wrist, spend a night in jail kind of thing.
Do you mind me asking what it is that caused you to have this ban? Is okay if...
I'm not the biggest fan of Midas, and I think they started to realise that.
Okay.
Hey.
That's all I'm comfortable saying. Thank you.
No, this is fine. This is fine.
I imagine no one here is. Are the others still with us at this point, or?
Yeah, they're still up. Kale's gone to bed, but Doug and Aaron still there. You just kind of raise it. Aaron, raise the volume. Here.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's alright. No worries, friend. Well, anyway, I think I'm going to call it there. I'm on the morning shift, and I've probably drunk a little bit too much than I should have.
Nice. Well, sleep well.
Likewise, quarters are second deck down. You'll be obvious. You'll hear the snoring. He kind of does a very deep, courteous bow. He sees the tail kind of like there's like a flourish, and he kind of backs off and goes down.
Oh, just before you go, when will we be setting off tomorrow?
Well, it depends on when the captain wants to go and when he's done with the mayor.
Okay. No, I understand.
Do you?
Yes, sir. I'm 19.
You are.
Doug just. You're funny.
Thank you. I don't try to be.
Oh, really?
Maybe you should be even funnier.
Don't challenge him.
Okay. Good night to you, sir. And I'm gonna do like a deep bow.
Aaron's already gone at this point.
Oh.
He's like Batman. You turn your head and he's like gone.
I thought he was the one saying I was funny.
No, that was Doug, the big orchid.
Oh,
the
sorry.
red-skinned orchid.
Then I won't do the good night to you, sir, because I thought I was talking to him.
But as well, if there's nothing else, I'll show you all to your quarters.
I lay my coat out on the floor.
Or of course you can stay up drinking, but yeah, if there's anything else specifically that you want to do tonight.
I'll stay on deck, but thank you very much.
I
Probably
think
sleep
I'll
up
stay
here.
on deck as well, if that's alright with you two.
Yeah, welcome.
Good.
No problem.
So night sleep takes you all after the wonderful story from River about loss.
She's not very effusive about emotion, so I
Yeah.
had to do that story.
Yeah.
Morning eventually rolls around.
Everyone wakes to find all of the crew dead,
Yeah.
and Fawaro just polishing his sword. I made some improvements to the crew.
Wake up, it's fairly loud on deck. You assume that much more of the crew are kind of up and active. You can kind of hear waves kind of lapping, and you can kind of hear some general talking from upstairs.
What do I see from already being up?
Oh
there?
yeah, you would have already been. Yeah, anyone who slept on the deck, you would have been woken up fairly early, not intentionally, but just from the general noise and riffraff on here. You see people are kind of changing the rigging, hoisting the sails, kind of getting the ship kind of ready to go. You would also seen as at around.
I would have started helping as soon as like people were.
They're already like very appreciative of that, and you see as Thorfey seems to come back fairly early, despite
Good.
despite the night that he had.
As soon as when he comes on deck, kind of like give him a bit of a salute and say,
Cool.
"No, I don't say anything."
He
Just
kind of like takes off his hat and just goes,
Right, no need for pleasantries, big guy, don't worry.
yes, Captain.
You can call me Thorfey if you want, but Captain's fine. Call me shithead if you want, I don't care.
Well, that cap.
As long as you work well. Right.
you see he's kind of like wiping his eyes, kind of looks quite tired.
Do you like the cap?
Yeah, fine. Right. If you don't mind, we'll be setting off. I imagine that you, given that you're here, that the rest of you all are downstairs.
Yeah, ready to go.
Right, good.
Do I want to go back to Midas and just say...
No,
No,
we
we
are-
are-
Absolutely.
No,
not.
man,
the less they know about us, the better.
We had they there.
Sorry, was your plan going to be go and be like, sorry, I'm not going to give them
By
to
the
you,
way-
but see you later?
No,
Escape.
Sorry, he's not the guy you think he is. We're not going to travel with you. ta-ta.
No.
Oh.
Remember, he said obviously you have safe passages back to shore. Like you wouldn't have that
Yeah,
if you.
good
If
point.
you
Yeah.
I have wings.
yeah, but
I have
you
the safest passage.
cannons and guns.
You can go back. There's no guarantee we'll still be here.
Oh, that's a fair point. Okay, well, I guess I'm staying there.
River probably would have said that in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sees you on deck as well and goes, Remember told me that you're a helmsman.
Hey,
Right. Sure, your wife got there.
great.
He kind of goes on up. You see as this woman kind of comes and stands next to him. From the conversation last night, you could assume this to be Avina. Seems to be a human woman. Kind of fairly young, kind of brown hair, kind of just kind of kept loose, kind of wavy. She's just kind of like sat beside where the wheel is with kind of like charts out and like a compass, kind of like working out where to go.
No, don't worry.
She just looks at you and says, Morning.
Morning.
Nice to meet you. So you'll be helming us today?
I will be.
Cool. Well,
I assume you are the regular helm?
No, just navigator. I like to sit here and kind of
Excellent.
assess things. It's good that the navigator and the helmsman usually have a good relationship, working relationship.
Well, fingers crossed.
Indeed. Avina, by the way.
Ah, Fawaro.
Nice to meet you, Farah. Right, let's set off, and all of you are put
Let's be
to
away.
various duties.
Hmm.
I'm going to do a percentile for the weather as you guys leave Coldshire behind.
Raise the anchor,
Like the
Mr.
sword.
Vince.
Much sooner than I expected. Okay, so as within a couple of hours of leaving, the fog is thick. It is not as forgiving as it was when the Cavalier was coming through, and it also starts to rain. No storms, no thunder and lightning, but cloud cover comes over and it starts to just kind of like lightly drizzle onto the deck.
As it begins to rain, the clothes come off.
Of course,
And yeah, folded up, put under my coat.
Garv is just glistening muscles.
It's worth pointing out, the cloak is billowing
Of
every second I'm at the wheel.
Of
His
course.
nip is like the size of my face.
But you see as
And they're
you
tiny.
see as the cloak is billowing behind, you see as Avina kind of sees this, kind of like skirts in under the cloak to protect her charts from the rain. Kind of like it's just sat there behind you, kind of like just working it out. Can you make a what check is it?
A vehicle check.
Yeah, the vehicle check, please. She's gonna make a navigator's check.
That's a non-nat 20.
Nice. So she does quite well on a navigator's check. Kind of works out. You managed to. Been a while since you've been a helmsman. It's definitely something you've probably done once or twice in your travels. But yeah, kind of grip of the wheel, kind of there. You feels good to be at the helm of a ship again, and it just comes back to you like riding a bike in this world. You just not sometimes like not even looking where the ship's going, but just kind of like knowing where to move the wheel, kind of like narrowly kind of missing some rocks here and there through either luck or finesse, but no one else knows. So
The boat,
Yeah.
I make the boat do a sick flip.
yeah, of course, it
yeah.
does a kick flip.
Yeah.
Everyone dies,
Yeah.
thrown off, scattered to the nine winds.
And over the next 15 days of actually, let's see how the weather holds up.
15 days.
Days.
The weather after the first day gets very nice. Winds
Hey.
are good. It's sunny. It's hot. You guys are all working. Over these 15 days, could 3 of you roll me a d20, please?
5.
14.
12.
12. Okay. Seems to be without trouble.
Plain sailing.
As you kind of as the ship kind of travels westward and south, travels fairly near to a place that you, Poirot, are very, very familiar with.
Oh no.
It doesn't obviously they don't go that way, but you can see kind of off in the distance the cliff that your hometown is built on.
I give it a wave, just in the distance.
You see as
There we go.
you see as on one day, Poirot kind of waves off to the cliff.
I really hope my mother doesn't see this.
Is there anything over these kind of passing days that any of you would like to do? Speak about with the crew, with each other, try to achieve?
I'd like to try and work with the current navigator, if that's all right.
Yes, you can quite easily
Yeah,
grab her
I'd
either
work
while
with you.
she's working or in one of the evenings.
Can I? This is something that I haven't discussed with you, Dan. But can I have like a thin sheet which has like a star map on it that could go over the top of another map?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'll like roll that out and like put it over the top of her map and sort of show her.
She kind of
like-
looks at it, kind of like holds it down. She
Yeah.
goes, interesting.
And I'm going to move it because she's not got it quite in the right spot.
Of course.
Yes. So if you the stars move in a fashion like this, and if you follow them in this way, So you can see the direction of the wind, and how potentially can I potentially predict possible weather through that, Dan?
Make a navigation check. Or make a, actually no, it won't be a navigation, sorry, it would be a nature. Make a
Nature.
check.
It's intelligence. Ooh, nat 20!
Nice, so you as you kind of like look, you kind of move it, and you're kind of like moving the map as you kind of like look up and then look down at the map and then look up and look down at the map. You kind of take in some of the weather on the horizon, see if any storms are kind of like moving in. You get an idea that you guys are probably going to be okay. Like it's probably going to be sunny, maybe a little bit more drizzle, but nothing that's going to impede the ship too much.
Okay.
You feel like the weather's going to hold.
So weather is going to hold until we get to Priangose.
And you know all that just from the stars?
Yes, it is something that fascinates me. I have been studying for a very long time.
She kind of tosses the compass up, kind of catches it, and says, "Well, I'm more navigate like this." And she kind of like moves the map.
Yeah, I'm gonna move my stars away from my
yeah, and she kind of like puts it down, and you see as she's like navigating, she like turn, like moves the compass at like a fast rate, kind of across the map, kind of doing it. She's gonna make a navigation check, and she says, "Yes, we should arrive early, if anything."
Oh, are you sick? Okay, good, fantastic.
I'll take that as a personal compliment, thank you.
Well, teamwork, of course.
Over the 15 days we'll try to work with every member of the party, especially Callum and Tom, just to like...
You quite easily can.
Yeah.
And on many of the nights, you also notice how... I'll save the full description for this next time when Callum is back. You notice has a seahorse begins to be following Caiaphas whenever he kind of like dives off the ship, kind of goes underwater to do some scouting or anything like that. There seems to be just a seahorse that kind of...
Like how big is this seahorse? Like seahorses are usually that big.
It's a large seahorse. It's like it's probably about human height.
Oh, that's cool.
And you see as every now and again as Caiaphas rides it.
I love Aquaman.
Yeah. Got a chariot.
Sorry.
No, I'd actually forgotten what I was going to say, so go ahead.
Okay. Is there anyone on board who'd be interested in just sparring a bit?
Yeah, so you could
I was going to go for an NPC, but you guys too, if you want to do it.
Yeah, so you could probably find one or two of the
Set up a
NPCs.
Just 'cause
fighting ring.
I'm thinking about, because Dan, you know my plan to multi-class.
Yes.
I was thinking I could be training for it now.
Yeah. So there's out of people that would be up for sparring. It'd either be Delg, who you originally met, Arim, or 3 people who you've kind of met on the boat in passing but not worked too closely with, by the name of Bardrya, Kal'Himaar, and Lystrata.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Lestrata.
Right.
Would at any point, sorry, just really quickly, would me and Callum be trusted to navigate on our own without that lady at any point?
Roll persuasion with the captain, I guess.
I guess roll that for Callum as well. I don't know what your stats
Yes.
are.
So we'll
8.
6 for Silas. The captain, you're free to navigate in your own time, but I'm paying her a good coin to do what she does, so I'll be going off her word, but feel free to do what you will.
No worries.
I'll work with the pair of you. Build that working relationship.
Ellie, you plan on doing anything else, or do you want to do some weapon firing?
That was pretty much what I was going to do anyway, so yeah.
Okay. Garv.
River.
I love
You're-
using the big tank. Sorry,
You're,
just like this.
you're pretty good with your hands in fighting combat.
I like to think I'm
Fighting
good with.
combat.
I like to think I'm pretty good with anything.
I'm looking to improve my skill with some weapons.
What up?
Fancy a little training.
I'm always up to see what someone can do.
Can I suggest we don't blow to kill?
Alright, if you're sure. No, that's I assumed as much.
Yeah. Cool.
I shall execute the loser.
As the both of you
The
kind of,
gun is just tossed in the ring.
This is your one weapon, gentlemen.
as the both of you kind of start getting your weapon your weapon's ready, you're kind of like getting ready for the sparring session. You see as a few crew members kind of come and like watch.
I'm not going to use the anchor.
No.
Can't use the chain balls though.
It's one of each hand.
You see as because some of the crew kind of like
If,
seem to gather and like begin whispering and like putting on bets.
I was about to say, if anyone's, I'm putting 5 gold on Gav.
Yeah, you walk up. You see as
Everybody should.
you see as Akita is there, the female pink tiefling, the twin to Arim, as well as Kale and someone you've not met yet by the name of Farrell. Seems to be a dwarven man, kind of a bit more of a scraggly beard but short. He kind of goes,
Well, I've got I'll put 5 down on the big guy. I mean, look at the fucking size of him. Alright there, helmsman. Nice to meet you.
Hey, and you. I'm taking your voice.
You need to be like in my corner, like putting the mouth guard
Aye,
and like
yeah.
toweling off
Backing
my
up.
head.
While also steering at the same time.
So looking like
You got this.
Kale kind of says, well, I'm gonna be betting on River. She says, seems she's got a bit more to her than just brute strength, really. And Akita kind of pipes up as well and says, I always want to back a woman's corner. They match the bets with 5 gold as well.
River prays before, obviously.
Of course.
Classic River.
as does Garv.
So, I'd like both of you
So boring, man. She loves praying.
to make
Fucking nerd.
Anytime something happens, it's like, okay, cool, a little prayer.
Garv does the same, honestly. So.
Oh, good.
So these are going to be a series of contested rolls.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like you to just both make weapon attacks for your weapon skill, just to see how well you or who does better, who's more skilled at this particular.
I'm using my fist, so
So just be rolling and just straight.
Oh, yeah,
proficient.
we're
Oh, if you're using-
you can use your weapon if you want.
Okay.
I'm just not going to use a huge anchor because I'm afraid I'll bludgeon your face in.
Okay, that's totally fair.
Oh, that's not good.
That's what's your
8.
14.
14. So yeah, River seems to kind of get the upper hand. You notice that River's, as you've kind of seen once or twice, is very quick on her feet. Kind of
Slippery.
kind of like not doing any damage, but kind of like tapping you with the rapier, kind of here and there whenever she can get a blow in. You throw in some kind of wide punches. She's quite easy to kind of duck in and out. Next, I would like either of you to, both of you to make either a strength or dex saving throw. This is your ability to either take damage or get out of the way of damage.
Strength save. Oh, goddamn. 15.
Oh, dang, really? Okay, cool. 9.
9. So while River seems to be like landing more blows,
Yeah.
whenever you like land like a blow on River, it kind of affects her a bit more, like trying to dodge out the way. But just your sheer heartiness, you're used to being in the front lines and taking damage. You manage to kind of like see the way through. And then, lastly, I would like both of you to make athletics checks to see if you can go the distance with a long sparring session.
Okay, cool.
19.
Oh, god damn. 19.
Cool.
Nice. So you notice that you are
Well
both
played.
you both have a good pool of stamina, and you both seem to get tired around the same time as you come to this kind of stalemate near the natural end of the sparring session.
Sorry to anyone that made a bet.
Everyone kind of gets their gold back as no one actually won, and there wasn't like a bookies to take it in this instance.
Good job.
No, thank you very much for that. Very useful. I am really trying to work on that. Hopefully we can do it more.
Well, there's a draw, so I guess I execute you both.
You see as
No one's my bodyguard now.
Garv, you see as a half-orcish lady kind of walks up to you. She has a couple of hand axes to one side, and she kind of pats you on the back and goes, "Good fight, good fight."
Thank you. I do it myself mostly.
Same, actually. Name's Kal'Himaar. I'd quite like to spar with you sometime.
Oh, right. I'm game whenever.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You seem to be a valuable person to have.
I'm very valuable.
Yeah, you see she's
Did
kind
I
of
hear that?
Hang on, what's her name?
Huh?
This conversation?
Yeah, you
Can I insight that?
yeah, go for it.
What's her name? What was her name?
Oh, quick fail, never mind.
You're not sure. You kind of see it, but you're kind of like just overwhelmed with being back at the helm of the ship
Yeah.
that you kind of. Yeah. Her name was which did I say she was? Bardry.
Drifting.
Oh, pardon.
Yeah, it's Kal'Himaar.
You're the Helms and Della. You haven't drifted a boat before? Here we fucking go!
Pull on the handbrake.
She said she was a half orc.
Drop the anchor and
Half-orc, she's kind of
You've been to the distant land of Tokyo.
she's kind of
It's Biengos.
she's kind of greener skin. You see she's got some cuts and scrapes over her here and there. Doesn't seem to wear armour.
Okay.
kind of has a braided hair, kind of almost in like dreadlocks that have been tied up. Kind of shorter tusks that poke through, and a few piercings kind of across the face. Yeah, across the rest of the ship, the rest of the journey. Anything else anyone wants to do, or no?
I think I'm good now.
I'll spar with her as soon as I'm
She
able.
will. So the next couple of days pass,
Okay.
and then she kind of grabs you again. People kind of come around and start putting bets on. You see, as most of the original crew members of the ship seem to bet on Kal'Himaar.
What? I'll see how it is.
River's watching, but I'll put a bet on.
But yeah, there's
I'm betting on Garb.
a total of you see, there's 4 people gone in. There's a total of 20 gold on.
Can I bet on myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put 6 gold on myself.
Put 5 again.
You see, some of the other crew members have also backed Garb as well. So first of all, yeah, attack roll.
Oh no.
Oh, damn.
Do you know what? I'm going to use my point of inspiration.
Yeah.
Burn it to.
Burn to earn it!
Oh, I still got this.
Oh my god.
Legendary fail.
No way. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, dang.
She throws you off the boat and everything.
Luckily, it wasn't in actual combat.
Yeah.
As you kind of
Damn.
crack your knuckles, yeah, that's every single session we've had a legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And this campaign is wild.
She doesn't think you're valuable anymore.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Damn.
You see, as she kind
I was
of
mistaken about you.
Just so everyone's aware, there's a position open for bodyguard. If anyone would like,
I matched it.
yeah.
she kind of brings the hand axes out, kind of like twirls them quite quickly in her hands. As you kind of like crack your knuckles and get ready, you kind of like run in for this overhand strike.
Yeah.
She immediately steps behind you, beams you on the back of her head with her half of her hand axe, and Garv just immediately goes unconscious, tumbles and eats shit across the deck. She just kind of looks down and just goes, I thought it'd be harder than that. Puts the hand axes back. You see as the crowd kind of like a bit stunned as they gather up the gold. And you come to 1d4 hours later.
I
Someone give him
2
a pillow
hours.
at
fuck
least.
it. As this happens, I jump down. Like, I'll defend his honor. I'll fight you. Come on.
Roll persuasion at advantage because she likes to fight.
That's 24.
Yeah, she kind of all right then. Kind of pulls out the hand axes, twirls them again.
I win.
So first of all, just an attack.
Cut this out.
An
Yeah.
attack roll. I need to go back to the page.
That's the best.
What'd you get?
10.
Okay, she crit fail. So yeah, you really get the upper hand. You see that your fighting style is much more countered to hers. While she's kind of like looks for the quick finish almost, you kind of have some patience and some finesse about her. You can quite easily just dance around her, kind of getting hits in where you
I'm
can.
fucking everywhere.
So make a strength or dex save to avoid or sustain.
That's another 10.
Okay, you see, much like mirroring the fight with Garv and River, while you're quite good at dodging damage, she seems to be better at taking damage. Like you get a few cuts in, and she just seems to just soldier on through. That's 1-1, and then the last one was a athletics check.
I'm not good at that. Oh, no, fuck. Yeah, why not? Don't turn it.
Legendary fail.
7 was high, that's a shame. Athletics.
Yeah.
5.
Okay, she gets a 10. So it seems as you're kind of like flying around her, while you're very mobile in combat and can kind of get to places quickly, you realise you can't do that for long without kind of like losing your breath. As you kind of like come in, kind of swoop down for a strike, she just kind of like taps you on the back of the head that hurts, and you kind of tumble. Don't take any damage, but you kind of tumble down to your knees, and she kind of goes, well, you took me around the ringer more than he did.
Fair enough.
Good fire.
And you?
She's hand axes.
Hey, how attached to this crew are you?
Well, fairly.
Ah,
Been
never mind.
for a while, but always looking for more work.
We'll keep you posted.
Cool.
Stop trying to recruit people for your own ship when you don't have one!
I'm gonna get one soon! I want to have a full crew ready. I don't want just me sat on a fucking galleon by myself. Like, this is nice.
Yes, it's pretty great. And
I gotta tell you.
about 2 hours later, you come to kind of your body's been kind of like pulled to one side on the deck and propped up against the on the railings, and you see as Akita is kind of like next to you, the female team says, "You alright?"
I presume I won.
If the winner is the one who kind of gets knocked out in one blow, tumbles across the deck and into the ass in the air, then yeah, you won.
You see, in the Utva tribe, we have an interesting form of combat where
Right.
you see, I disarmed her by ejecting myself from the fight.
Sure. Well, if we come across any pirates, please don't go jumping overboard.
Not yet.
She kind of like pats you on the head as she was kind of like looking after you, then kind of puts a tankard down into your hand as well, and then kind of goes back.
Probably shouldn't drink this on a concussion, but
You're having 2 hours. That's really bad for you.
I need to see a doctor.
A few nights after that happens,
Yeah.
if we're all like drinking at any point, if we're having just like a chill one.
Yeah. Not every night, but every handful of nights or so.
Yeah, Marcella won't drink every night.
Yeah.
It'll kill him. But one night when we're a little merry, Marcella.
I'm a little Pippin.
Is fuck off. Leave the table. Marcella is gonna sit down next to Garv, and after about let's say a pint, a regular sized pint, is going to I'm going to regret saying this, but do you fancy a spa?
Please say yes.
It can't go much worse than the
No,
last
it can't.
one. Okay, I'll about now. I won't be able to feel it so much if I do this.
So you see it's a particularly quiet evening. Not many of the other crew members have joined you. You see from the crow's nest.
Take the anchor out.
No! 4!
You see as from the crow's nest.
And take up. I'll catch him. Don't wait.
It's like cast all way.
That's a bit far even for me. Oh,
I
well.
don't know that it matters, Dan.
Yes.
So tell me if it doesn't. But I'm going to be in the phase of the start, which is the one where anytime they miss, I teleport somewhere new.
Keep that in mind.
I will.
That'll come into play in one of the checks. So you see as the person up in the crow's nest seems to be Evelros, I believe I said his name was.
The night elf lady.
The Night King.
The man who's a.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a man with long hair that's pulled into a
Oh, my apologies.
the shit cook.
Yes.
He kind of.
How has the cooking been?
Drubbin is here with you as well, by the way, and the cooking has been
I'm looking for my dice.
a little bit better than Drubbin usually does, but not as
Hey.
So they're getting on okay. They don't like hate each other.
Yeah, you don't know.
Okay.
You've not seen them interact, but you've seen that as Evelros has been part of the crow's nest more.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
So you see as he kind of like looks down with the spyglass. I love how you just decided what dice to use.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So yeah, both of you first will just make an attack roll.
He put his 4 dice out and rolled a d4.
Just an attack roll.
Yeah.
Is that with longsword or whatever I'm using, I suppose?
Whatever you're using.
The fact that you're drunk, are you at disadvantage at all, or is this a...
No, you're not pissed, drunk, so
Just
no.
memory.
A pint for you is about 4 pints.
Nah.
I can still fight on 4 thatches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, yeah.
I feel like I could fight better on 4 pints.
Got the electric suit.
I'm the electronic Superman! No, I've got 8.
15.
Yeah, so Garb, like out of the gate, is just you can see he's a much more practiced fighter than you are. Even though you may have like done some sparring with your friend when you were younger, Garv's comes from kind of a lot of real experience. That seems to be serving him well here.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
both you make either a dex save or a strength saving throw. You have advantage on your dex save if you're doing a dex save, as to avoid damage. You can just blink around.
Yeah, I will do that. Or it's a strength save.
Or a strength save, which wouldn't be an advantage. That's more just taking damage.
I'll take it advantage and take the hit on that. 14.
19.
Fuck!
So while you notice that Mostella is doing quite well to avoid your attacks, after a while you kind of predict this and manage to kind of strike where he's going to teleport to.
Okay.
And then lastly, just to see if it's not a total whitewash, athletics checks.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
that's quite nice.
A little bit tasty.
Nah, so it's
21.
11.
Yeah,
21.
It's what I was expecting, but he'll want to do it again.
So you without causing like a ton of damage, you
Beat the shit out of
yeah, you mop the floor with Mostella.
I go fairly, like, not easy, but like, I pull my punches.
Yeah, I didn't die.
No, you fought well.
Yeah, you definitely the rolls weren't terrible, but so you can definitely see some potential there.
Maybe next time I won't take on the biggest man I've ever seen. It's okay. Back on the horse, I suppose. Is that to suffice?
After that, can
I
I
pass
find the orc that challenged me before?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a rematch.
I just beat up a child. Let's
go. The blood's running now.
So what do you say to her for a rematch? As it might take some persuading.
Right, so I went down like a sack of shit the last time.
That you did.
I've done some training. I beat up a child, and
You're like, wow.
you know what I'm talking about. And I'm ready to try again if you are. If you think you can take me again. If you think you're going to get lucky again.
Lucky, sure. Go on then, we'll make this quick.
That's it. Go attack roll.
Yes, of course. Have you got glass?
It's no longer believe in you.
8.
8. You seem to get the upper hand. Her form seems to be off today. And then strength for dex.
Obviously strength. That's not that
not
good. Saving throw.
Yes.
13.
Her form seems to be very off today.
Oh boy.
And then athletics check.
That's not bad. 17.
Nice. So yeah, as you kind of like go through, you see that she's still putting up this like a good fight. I was going to say the fight that you saw, but you're unconscious for hers and Farah's.
Yep.
But yeah, you see kind of as you get into like a fight where you haven't had catastrophic bad luck,
Yeah.
you think you could probably take her. Like you end up winning that sparring session. She rolled a 3 and a 2 on her first two.
Alright, well,
She kind of sweating, just kind of.
Alright, maybe you're
we're
maybe
all,
you're better than I thought.
we're all tied up at the moment, so hit me up when you want to see who's the top dog.
Of course. Was that flirting?
Maybe a little.
Just so that people know, every session I've written a different person that River is trying to marry Garth to, and currently Kalai's top.
Yay!
So,
She's
Tune is
got
nothing
2
else.
lists. 1, the Mary Garv list. 2, the things
Things
I
I
hate.
Same list.
Get married to cheese.
You're married to water and cheese, my friend.
Oh.
Moist
Flat
cheese.
cheese.
A vat of undead moist cheese.
Cheese is undead.
So,
You okay? You good?
confirmed. As the days pass, as the 14 days pass, that takes you to get to Priangose.
Hey, we did cut it down by a
You
day.
arrive on the 45th of Avon. As it takes you that long to get here, and as the ship starts crawling closer into the bay, you see the weary sun setting over a city that is just coming to life. An almost ever-expanding dock stretches the entirety of this bay and onto a smaller landmass to the left flank of the island. Small lights begin to flicker awake throughout this city, built on a slight hill that then plateaus. A thunderous cacophony of drums can be heard coming from the island to the left, but your eyes are drawn upwards as the drums punctuate this sight. Upwards on the plateau, a singular lone tower that rises above the immensely diverse architecture of the various districts. Instead of firelight, this lighthouse exudes a dappled starlight that glimmers around the head of the building's rooftop. Within the peak, an infinite vortex of auroras, stars, and galaxy-like patterns illuminate against the encroaching darkness. Welcome to Priangose. As you pull up into the docks, that is where we're going to take our short break for the session.
Hey!
As you see this kind of like tower off in the distance as the city seems to wake up, as it seems to be a nocturnal city.
Oh, yes.
You pull in, and before we go about our leisure and stuff, we're going to take a short 10-minute break here as well. We'll be back very soon, so make sure you stay in the chat. Some of us will still kind of be hanging around. Yeah, we'll be back with you in just a sec.
See you in a min, chaperones. Oh, this mouse is turned off. Okay.
Quick, turn it on.
Do my best.
Yo, what up? We back. We out. So
Bye.
go. Later, losers. So yeah, going back into this, you guys have just pulled into the Bay of Priangose. You've seen. Yes.
Quickly, I was going to do it in the middle as well. Yeah, the winners of the last 2 sessions climax comment competition. If you want to get a chance of having a shout out, stay in the chat and keep on commenting. We're picking whoever was the top chatter at the exact 3/4 mark through the session. On week 1, it was the lovely Pilchard 123, and week 2, it was the fabulous Gaunties. So if you want to shout out next week, get commenting, keep chatting, just keep being you.
All good. So. You've just pulled into the Bay of Priangose. You see the city before you, these kind of little lamplights kind of flickering on about the city as it kind of comes to life as the rest of the world begins to go to sleep. You see this kind of weird like lighthouse off in the kind of like centre district where the plateau is, kind of piercing the sky directly like above all of the other kind of architecture and the buildings kind of in the district. You can see kind of like the dappled starlight. It seems like almost like emanate. There's not like a straight beam of light, but it seems to just create this kind of light effect around it that kind of guides ships towards it. As Turi begins to pull in to the dockyard, you notice a couple of things. You notice the hustle and bustle of people walking up and down docks. You see people carrying crates, dock workers kind of noting ships that are coming in, taking payment for kind of docking up, as well as people kind of like getting the sails ready on their ships to kind of leave as well. You notice off to one side a bigger ship, and anyone can either make a perception or a intelligence check for me.
Perception. 22 perception.
Doesn't matter, that's a 4.
Okay, 22,
12.
12,
14.
on perception or
Perception.
Cool.
14 intelligence.
Okay, Garth, you're the only one who notices. You notice as the ship's kind of pulling in, you notice this kind of big ship that's kind of painted red with kind of like these iron bands kind of around it. Very big ship, seems to be a frigate of make that seems to have emblazoned on the back, Queen Anne's Revenge. This appears to be Blackbeard's ship.
Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, I found our ship.
Presumably either somewhere in the city or abroad. As you pull in, you see this kind of dockyard that has this kind of stretch of stonework that leads for about 50 feet from the dock, where it's just like a thoroughfare of carts and people walking up and down. You see the main guards in this particular district seem to all be dragonborn, and mainly black dragonborn, with kind of the horns that kind of peel down around, all in kind of various states of medium or heavy armour with various weapons on them. You see some of them wear robes and carry staffs instead. And you can see the centrepiece of this kind of midway down through the thoroughfare, this gargantuan statue, or a gargantuan statue almost on top of another. You see a statue of a female form that kind of goes halfway up and is crumbled, with the upper half kind of leaning to one side on the pedestal that it was originally built on, and built behind and on top of it is a gargantuan black dragon statue. You see as these kind of horns kind of pierce down and around, this kind of look of pride on it as its chest is up and its giant claw is over the upper torso of the old statue that seems to have crumbled, kind of like looking off into the distance majestically. Wings kind of flared out and tail kind of looks like it's mid kind of like whip at the back, and you can see there's a few people kind of like admiring the shrine as they go by, a few people kind of like leaving trinkets near there, that kind of stuff. But you can see as the city's kind of breathing to life, the kind of trade and stuff seems to pick up. Thorfey kind of comes out on deck, kind of looks over to you, Garvin, and just goes, "Big guy, lower the anchor."
Right, Captain. Get going. Would I recognise that black dragon statue as well?
Anyone proficient in history?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Yes.
You can make a history check, and one other person can make it at this.
My history's not very good.
Oh, so I just want to make it he's proficient.
9.
16.
Okay, you know various stories about it being a fairly well-travelled woman. You know this to be the woman is a statue of the god Folius, who seems to mainly preside over the earth, domain kind of life and nature. And the statue is of a very well-known black dragon by the name of Nalakirin, who was an ancient black dragon and one of the original 9 pirate lords.
Oh, Wow.
about 1,000 years ago or so.
That's cool.
They say. You don't know much more detail other than that, but this seems to be a statue to him, and this appears to be the district that was designated.
How do you
in
spell his
memory.
name, sorry?
Nall
Mm-hmm.
Akirin. Nalakirin.
Fab.
And this district is called the Sura Navalia. As you can see, there's kind of like a sign kind of on the statue as well, which translates roughly to the Acidic Navy. The kind of docks up as you kind of lowered the anchor, Garv. The captain kind of says, "Right, well, I've got some business to attend to. Take some personal time for yourselves. We'll feel free to stay in the city. We'll reconvene tomorrow around 4 o'clock-ish. See where we stand."
Sounds good.
Nice. Fine by me.
Probably not. And you are left to your own devices.
Excellent.
So you kind of in this district at the minute, Foiro, you would know quite a few of the districts here. Haven't been here before. You know, each district tends to offer something quite unique, but you can find like bars and inns and shops in all of them. But you know, the main kind of the busiest place of the city is up on the plateau around the lighthouse. Is the river market of Priangose.
I feel I've done some shopping. We have very little gold to our names.
Oh, yes.
This isn't where the library is it?
No, that's the next place that
No,
let's
that
go.
was Titan's Cradle. There may be a library here, but
Okay.
not that you're aware of.
I'm up for having a look around at least.
I'd like to have a look around the docks, see what's going on around these parts.
Yeah.
Just examine.
We could potentially look for a way to find some gold or earn some gold.
That's true, yeah, we can do that. Let's have a wander, I say.
Vlacho, do you know if there is a library here?
Make an intelligence check.
I certainly wouldn't have ever been there, but it is 17.
Yeah, so while you've never been there, you do know of a library. I'm trying to find which district it is in. You know, one, it's not a library, it's more of a bookshop that also doubles up as quite a quiet inn in the Court of Celeritis district, which is the Feywild district. There's a shop called Dreams from the Vine, which sell books.
There's a more of a bookshop, but it's an inn too, so you can have a read while you're in there.
This would be fantastic.
Okay, it's in this district.
I will hang around with you guys.
Aye,
first.
okay, yeah, sure
I
thing.
won't go off on my own.
I'd like to see the river market.
We can make a checklist and make sure that we get everything that we want to do in the city done. And
Who's Dan?
Done.
Oh.
No.
That's that.
Look up at the sky. No, not you.
The face appears between the clouds. The true god. I'd like to have a wander around the docks while we're here then.
Yeah, so just as you kind of generally wander around, you can still hear like this cacophonous ruckus of drums kind of pounding way off from the island that seems to be quite far away. It still kind of permeates and kind of carries out to here. And you can see people kind of all colours and creed kind of walking around, kind of doing business. It's very noisy. There's hundreds of people here. You see as a couple of people from the ship kind of come down, start talking to a dockmaster, sorting out payment for them staying. And you can see people tending to various boats and such.
Okay. I'll just have a look at the boats, see if there are any that appear to be either for sale or not heavily guarded.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Okay, investigation is average. That's a 7.
Yeah, you find one that seems to be a bit more run down than the others. It seems to have like a couple of people kind of on board at the moment, whether the rest are in the city or below deck, you're not too sure. But it seems to be it seems to have a kind of a for sale sign kind of nearby. It seems to be a what type of ship would it be? Let's see. Where is it? It would be a caravel.
Caravel, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
It's caravel, same style of ship as the Cavalier, but this one also seems to be a little bit bigger than the Cavalier as well.
That's good. Anyone about that I can have a chat to?
There's people up on deck. There's no one like on the gangway. But yeah, there seems to be people kind of like on deck, not really paying much mind to what's going on.
Okay. I'll pop on that. You guys do. You can
Okay.
go for a wander if you want. I'm going to chat to them about how much this boat's for. Feel free to come with if you like. And wander on over.
Cool. You see as you kind of go up on deck, someone kind of stands up. Seems to be a elderly gentleman. Seems to be a golden dragonborn. Kind of has a couple of blades to him. Has some basic kind of like a chain shirt on.
Cool.
Kind of looks to you and goes, "Well, friend, sorry. Private boat."
Aye, I saw the sign up front. It's for sale.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
Cloaks with them, of course.
Yes, had a few people show some interest.
Yeah, how much are you looking for?
Well, usually to get this kind of ship built, it would run around 8,000.
8,000.
So we're, being in the state that she's in, we're offering her for 6.
6,000. Okay. I'll get back to you. Slightly, a little bit outside my price range. I'll go see if I can rearrange some funds.
Of course, well, we'll be here till she's gone. So.
Alright, cool. Right, thank you.
Right, we bet like £1,000 on a fight or something.
We get one of us in a fight. Put a lot of money on the other guy,
And then take it up.
and then take a dive.
We're going to rig a fight.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, are we not in the Pirates capital?
That means everyone's rigging it.
It's actually not a bad idea. Especially if I
Yeah,
go
okay,
to
you-
fight,
yeah,
they'd
you-
probably bet on me.
Remember how many people bet on you on the
Yes,
ship?
the odds would be in your favor. And if we bet against you, we will make an even better.
Let's put both of you in the ring. We already know who'd actually win that fight.
I don't want to see my reputation tarnished.
Okay,
that way.
No, I like this idea.
No deal.
Okay, that was out.
Okay.
Never mind.
Uh,
Well, I still think that's a good plan.
I
at
still
least
think we
to
should
fix a
put you in a
fight.
fight, and
Yes.
the odds would be in your favor, and we bet against you. We make a pretty penny. We can only do it maybe once, perhaps
Yes.
twice. Then they will be on us.
Most likely. Oh well, let's go to the market for now. Have a look
Sounds good.
around.
Yep.
Okay.
I've got a couple of things I might be able to sell, so we'll. The things I can find that I can then sell.
Yeah, would I know like how it's seen, like kind of stealing from people here? Would I know like if that's very frowned upon, or is it kind of just like you said, no one amongst thieves, kind of?
You'd know that there's a actually make a you two can make intelligence checks for me. Should be the most likely to know this.
15.
13.
Okay, so you both know that while there's no like hard and fast laws for this, you know that each kind of district has its own set of guards.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on what district you're in
Okay.
and if you're caught in that district. But your main worry would be the target of who you
Okay.
robbed from. Killing is seen as a bit more distasteful
Okay.
here, but in certain circumstances you can kind of pass that off. But you don't see many people like brawling in the street or anything like that.
No, he said not many people. That's what's important here.
Right. Head to the
Market, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, so as you walk through the various districts here, you walk past one that seems to be very noisy, seems to have a not a lot of residential by the looks of it, but a lot of like kind of factory and foundry kind of type buildings, and you get a few distasteful looks from these beings that some of you may not have encountered, some of you may have. They seem to be about human height, if not bigger and broader, and made entirely out of metal, stone and wood, as you see warforged, kind of, and a lot of them work in this district, as they kind of look at some of you guys as you walk past, and they kind of like narrow their eyes, kind of a little bit, kind of just working away, carrying things, either hammering stuff.
What you looking at, Gogface?
Whatever I want to, bag of flesh.
My name is Revelio Clockbird Jr.
Not allowed on this stream.
And he kind of just carries on, kind of maintains eye contact with you, which is just doom, doom, and you can hear like again just loud kind of hammering, clanging from this general district.
Can we see the name of the district anywhere?
As you walk past it, you see that this is known as fittingly the Metalworks.
Ah. Should have got
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll come back and slaughter him later, don't we?
And you also walk
Other than
through
slaughter
a.
them.
Okay.
You walk alongside, not into a district that seems to have a wall that kind of like goes around the entirety of it, and flowing from the wall at all times seems to be this very light pink kind of rose water that just kind of is falling down, trickling very now. Every now and again you'll see someone walk out from an archway and the water just parts for them as they walk through and then closes behind them. As you walk through, you don't see a name for this district. But as you kind of break out into this kind of large, expansive kind of central location of the city, you see this huge lake in a kind of donut shape, if you will, with various little boats kind of on it with various awnings and covers of various different sizes, people kind of like hucking various kind of goods, kind of calling out, selling different kinds of vegetables and fruits and weapons and just other whatnots. You think anything you could possibly want to find, you could maybe find here. It seems there's no set, hard and fast place for shops, as people just kind of set sail onto this river and do business as is their want. You see,
like strawberries a pound.
Exactly. Strawberries are gold. You see as some boats have other boats docked up around them, as there seem to be restaurant boats as well. People kind of like sat just eating various cuisines. You see some people rowing their own boats, as well as people kind of with chauffeurs almost that kind of rowing them to where they want to go. And you can see kind of set up at various points kind of around this river, around this lake, is a various places where you can either rent boats or buy boats with chauffeurs and to kind of escort you around the lake. In the centre is a landmass with the big lighthouse you saw upon entering that kind of like stretches up hundreds of feet into the sky, and you can now see, looking up, it looks like there is just like a starry night without any light pollution as you look up, as this kind of like starlight is just kind of dappled above you. And as on the 45th of Avon, there's usually a meteor shower. You can see just kind of like behind them, kind of like framing it almost, every now and again you just see it as people are kind of going about their business here, as the market isn't overly busy, as it's not gotten into the depths of the night yet, but some people are kind of out, some people have already set up. You see some people kind of like bringing massive kind of backpacks full of goods and kind of like pushing boats out into the river, getting ready to set up for their night of selling.
Is it easy to gauge how deep this is here?
Looks fairly deep,
okay.
Maybe like anywhere between 80 feet upwards. You think it seems to be quite a deep like basin? Or
Can't wade out there then.
No.
I like it. Anyone need to buy anything? I just want to come see it. I thought this was lovely.
I'd like to sell something. Can I sell the box of jewellery?
Yeah.
So I've got some books.
Yeah.
I've got some books. Some books.
So will you guys be renting a boat to get out there?
Oh yeah.
I can fly. If you just
Well,
give me
give
your
you
stuff,
this, can you?
I'll bring you a receipt.
Can you?
Yeah.
Does that be
Can we
alright?
not all just go?
We're all super stingy.
Yeah. How much is a boat?
It's 5 gold to rent a boat, 10 gold to get on with a chauffeur. We'd bring it back. You guys would probably need 3 boats. I would say 2, but you are huge.
I'll put 5 gold towards a boat.
I'll hire a boat.
Yeah, I'll say you can
Okay.
probably get
Seeing
one
as,
other
yeah.
person in the boat with you, and it probably needs to be a light person.
Right, now you go.
So yeah, I'll
Yes,
do it.
cool.
Navigation.
Actually, no, you. Yeah, if Scythus is going and doing his own thing, he sees he splits off, so you'd be
Oh,
going
is
with
he?
them as well.
Oh, sick.
So we only need 2 boats.
Yeah, you don't need to go.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, we're in a boat together, guys.
Amazing.
Sweet.
Average size gang. Now I'm quite small.
Finally, everything we wanted, I stand on the bell like, forward, Mr. Gavin Serious.
You see all these boats traveling, coming with 2 oars, come with like a long kind of like gondola oar almost, that
Okay.
you can use to kind of like
We finally got our own ship.
push around.
You're like in your element.
This is it.
Completion of character arc.
Right. There you go, Dan.
So you see as people are kind of shouting out like strawberries are gold, strawberries are gold, jewellery, come get your fine jewellery over here. You
Yes,
see
I will.
kind of restaurants going, the freshest ramen around, come on, you know you want it, it's good, it's hot, come get it before everyone else does.
Well, that's enough for me. Yeah, I
It's
guess.
good and it's hot and it's
It's all around.
Yeah, all around. So yeah, what are you looking for in particular?
You want to sell some
I
jewelry?
would like to sell my
Important
box of jewellery that I got from from the grave.
Right, so as you kind of come on over, you
That's
see
it's lovely. Thanks. I think it's great.
it's kind of a long boat that kind of curls up to the sides, and kind
It's
of
okay,
on
let me
each
take
kind
it.
of like
The ghost
I don't
was
know,
okay.
each of the curved bits there seems to be
Bow?
a tent pole almost, with a kind of awning that goes over and casts some shade, and you can see this woman's kind of like sat towards the back of the boat with like a makeshift kind of a plank across that's acting as like a counter. And you can see various bits of jewellery kind of hanging from the top of the strings that are attached to the top of the awning, kind of like around her. Almost like a set of wind chimes, but all various jewellery pieces. As you come over, she's kind of older, got some like crow's feet, human lady, kind of black hair.
Human lady with crow's feet.
Yeah. She caws at you. Hair kind of braided down to one
Hops
side.
up on the table.
She says, "Yes, love. You looking to buy something today?"
Actually, I'm in the business of selling today.
Amazing. What are you selling?
I have a box of jewelry. It was gifted to me by a very kind woman. I believe it has lucky qualities, I'm told.
Make a persuasion check as he examines the jewellery as well.
Persuasion.
Beautiful.
It's a 14.
And she says, well, people always like the luck factor when it comes to buying things. I'm sure I could pawn this off quite nicely. I'll give you 70 for it.
Yes, I'll take 70.
She kind of puts 70 in your hand and takes the little jewelry box, begins inspecting, kind of going through pieces. You see as she kind of like pulls out a ring, she goes to a string, a piece of string that has like lots of rings on it, kind of like attaches it on, and then she like takes out like a necklace and then kind of attaches it onto a very different piece.
No, it's a
Thank you kindly.
And she kind of nods as you kind of row off.
Yeah, I'm gonna look out for anyone who might be selling magical rope.
Ooh.
Yeah, make a because as that's a match back, make an investigation check.
I will do that.
Okay.
It's
Intelligence.
There we are. 9.
9. You kind of go around. You find people who are selling like regular rope, but nothing here on the river market. You think probably the docks are probably going to be the best place to try and find any kind of enchanted rope.
Okay.
Just see if anyone can sell some books too.
Yeah. What books is it that you have again?
So there was some books. There was a couple we got from the wreckage of the ship, and then someone got from DD's house.
Yes. So as you kind of like, it's quite easy enough to find. You see this person who has like a boat that kind of like has like a. If a boat's like straight on like this,
Yeah.
it has like a back to it here,
Ooh.
made of wood that kind of like goes up. And you see there's no actual books on his boat, but there's a sign kind of hanging from it that just has very kind of crudely kind of drawn across it in blue paint that just says books.
Okay.
And this elder gentleman kind of in a robe says, "Hello."
Hello, sir. I hear you're the man to find books from.
Looks up at the sign. Yes.
So there are no books on the boat at all.
Not that you can see now.
If I may ask, where are the books?
Somewhere safe.
Oh, like this guy, he thinks.
May I peruse your wares?
Sure. He kind of looks down into the boat. What kind of books are you looking for? Adventure, fiction, bit of romance.
What's the best I got? What?
No, I prefer non-fiction.
No? Yeah, non-fiction.
Kind of opens up like a hatch in the bottom of the boat that should lead down to the water. Kind of goes in like elbow deep. Kind of roots around a little bit. Kind of pulls up a box.
Soggy book.
Kind of pulls up a box of that kind of like
It's a little known fact, this river's filled with books.
There's like non-fiction like scrawled across the front. And kind of slaps it down.
The book is called non-fiction.
No, it's a crate that has non-fiction written across the front.
Oh,
There's like,
my favourite!
It's like it's like a few kind of books.
The world is real. This affirms my belief.
I've got a couple of books that I'd like to sell, actually.
Oh, we can do some trades if you find anything you want.
Can I get trades for money?
Yes, that's if you don't want to buy the books, that is.
What kind? Does he have anything on either ways ways you train yourself to be better at fighting, or ways to like any either enchanting or blacksmithing books?
Okay, roll a straight d20 for me.
Oh, it's fine. 3.
3. He doesn't seem to have much. The closest thing he has is the it's not like just melee fighting, but it seems to be a smaller kind of book that seems to detail the fighting style of the Kjorndir dwarves and how they kind of their general kind of fighting style, how they go about fights. But that's kind of the closest thing.
Close the crate back up.
Then he kind of puts it back down, kind of roots around again, pulls out like a coin purse. And goes, so what books have you got?
Yeah, put them out on the table. So
Cool.
yeah,
So there was the Sylvanas one.
Yep.
The animal picture book, the book on
I assume
architecture.
I will not be allowed to sell the animal picture book. That is not mine to sell.
I think Scythers does currently have that.
Scythers has that on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got that in the architecture book.
Yeah.
And the one that was from the ship, looks
Yeah.
like the ship's log.
Hmm.
He goes, looks over them, goes, the ship's log don't really need that, to be honest.
You'd be interested. It looks like a ship's log. It's actually a detailed tale told through the medium of a ship's log.
Raw deception.
Okay.
You got an advantage, I like that.
Yay!
It's pretty good. Persuasion.
Yeah.
Deception.
Oh, deception.
yeah.
Just as good. 18.
Oh, breaking the form. I like that.
It's a.
Writers pushing the boundaries, all for them.
Oh, it's
Ends
fantastic.
really suddenly.
Yeah.
Bit of a twist, I like it. Yeah, I'll give you give you 10 for all of them.
Yeah, go on.
Gonna give you 10 gold.
Sweet.
Gonna opens the hatch.
I'll give you 5,
pulls
yeah.
Paid for the boat.
Yeah. And I pay you for me to not die.
And
Thank you for your business.
likewise, come back if you need more books.
Will do.
I've got a lot.
Random.
He starts reading through it.
Go.
He starts reading through it and he's like, maybe I'm just not intelligent enough to get it.
Some very avant-garde stuff there.
Goes into a lot of detail about shipping and
There's a
manifests.
page where it's just numbers and prices.
He's a genius. We're going to come back in a few months. It's like a bestseller.
They've got it reprinted.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That cliffhanger ending, eh?
With Horsemouse, we could have just reprinted and sold it ourselves. Made millions. Screw this Pirate King business.
Poirot, master author. Is anything else anyone's looking for in particular on the river market?
Anything that looks like it might be selling weaponry?
Yeah, there's a few. You don't see any blacksmiths on here, but you do see people kind of representing blacksmiths. You see one boat that seems to be called the Warden of Blades, as a kind of front for the Garden of Blades shop. It seems to be elven themed kind of boat. You also see no, not that one. Any other? You also see one that seems to be a boat that seems to have a brazier, just kind of like with this roaring fire kind of going up in front of it, and you can see behind it seems to be a gentleman who is less humanoid and seems to be more a human kind of covered in this wrapping of chains that all seem to like snake around his body here and there. You see as the chains are kind of like hung up to the ends of just kind of like this awning that he has. And this seems to be called, where was it? I literally just had it. Screaming Intent.
Holy shit, that sounds terrifying.
Oh, what is it, sorry?
I got
Screaming
on that.
What is
He's
it?
got fire and he's
It's
made
a
of
weapon.
chains.
It's a front for one of the blacksmiths in one of the other districts. Other than that, you can see there are some like loan sellers who aren't part of like a forge in the town. So yeah, you can probably find any kind of weapon you want here.
I might
Whether
as
they're
well
magical or not.
have a look for gun.
Depends. Yeah, you can quite easily find someone who's selling guns. They seem to be a bit rarer. There's only the one kind of guy who's selling guns, but he seems to have quite a few kind of like on show behind the counter and a few kind of laid out on this kind of like nice cloth on the front of the counter.
I'll have a peek up there. Yeah.
Yeah, which one are you going up to?
Gun.
Gun.
Yeah.
Whichever one. has
It's
gun.
called gun.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's called gun now.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Gun. There we go. Gunboat.
I want to go up to the screaming intent one
Yeah,
because
so-
it looks intense.
So as you go on up, you can
It's an experience.
see the firelight kind of licking up, kind of like near the side of the.
Are our
This-
boats
this
together?
being-
Sorry,
Hmm?
are we like going together?
No, you got
Okay.
if you want to, you've got separate boats though.
I want to check this place out as well, kind of. So
Look at it that way.
yeah.
Yeah, let's
It's
go
all
with Screaming
room.
Intent.
Yeah. So you see.
It's like this whole river's about the size of a children's paddling pool. Like we know where each other are.
Marco.
We're peddling. It's got a swan head on that.
It's a swan boat, but the head is Poirot.
Honestly, they sold us a lot better
Laura
than
just
actually.
morphs into a swan boat.
It's like Elastigirl.
Yo, I need that magic item. I don't want to be captain of a boat. I want to be the boat.
Well, true polymorph exists.
We'll turn you into a boat.
It is my
It's the only way I'll be happy.
It would be a big boat, but yeah.
Your feathery boat. When you get wet though.
You see as the chains kind of like all snake around him and kind of where his mouth was covered, they kind of part. Kind of you see these kind of like dark black lips.
That
And he
scream.
just he just you see various blades made of like this black metal kind of behind him, all of which seem to be jagged and serrated, and they seem like they would hurt like a motherfucker. As you kind of come, he says, "Greetings."
He's the guy who's chained all up.
Yeah, you see the chains kind of
He's made of
open up.
chains.
Greetings. How may I help you?
We were here just to inquire as to the theme and wares of your shop.
Well, we represent.
You need to know more about the theme,
I
really?
really want to know more.
We
I'm
represent
very curious.
Screaming Intent in the Flame District. If you want to visit our full range of wares, but here we mainly focus on things that will cut and cleave and scar the flesh of those who go against you.
Oh,
Right.
Very good.
Yeah, sounds nice.
In your
business.
situation,
Bit of a niche.
you're fine with being all chained up and stuff.
It's part of me.
Oh right.
The chains
Okay.
do as I say. You see one of the chains kind of like snakes off and then just raises up, kind of looks at him, and kind of
Bit
like
slappy.
wraps around and then.
It's like Doctor Octopus.
I was chained up against my will for a long time. That's why I ask.
Unfortunate friend, but yes, these chains, they do as I command, and they're very much one with me.
Ah, more power to you then, mate. I'll leave you to your screaming intent.
Dan, is there anything, would I be able to notice anything unholy about this?
He screams. I
mean, yeah.
Make a religion check for me.
Oh, okay.
Just
I
to see how
think
much
I
you
know.
I'm alarmingly
what-
not good
out
at
of game. I think
Can
I know
I
what this
do that
is.
actually
Yeah.
as well?
Oh,
I know nothing.
Oh, the hell of a roll.
Profile, yeah.
I might as well.
Well, obviously the number was
no.
Oh,
Do we have to be
God.
proficient in anything to
Oh,
know this?
Huh?
Do we have to be proficient in anything to know?
You gotta really go through it sometimes.
Are you proficient in religion or anyone else?
Only Annie.
No.
Yeah.
So you, I'll say you can make a check at this. Just see if you've heard anything.
Yeah, probably not. What kind of check?
Religion.
Religion. What is religion? Is it wisdom?
Intelligence.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Oh, no,
Oh,
it's
no, it's
intelligence.
intelligence.
Yeah. Wouldn't think
No,
that.
I mean, he's not
Six.
doing anything bad.
No idea. He screamed. He like
I'll check the whole place.
just exudes unholiness, but you have no idea what type of unholy.
Out of game. Is he a
I
chain
don't
devil?
like
He is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Where are they from, hell?
Cool.
Hey, Gaunties.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, Gaunties.
Ho, 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 travellers. Ho, 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 who's this? It's Gaunties.
So he's kind of there. He says,
Anything I can help with?
That was really good.
What? Any blunt weapons? Or are you more of a blades kind of guy?
More of a blade. If you're looking for blunt, go to Screaming Intent in the Flame District.
Okay.
I thought you brought your anchor on our little boat.
I bring the anchor everywhere.
Oh, that can't be good.
It's just like like the one end with me and the anchor. It's like a shallow howl, if you've seen it.
Anything light?
Plenty of light things.
he kind of takes down some daggers, kind of hands one to you. Seems to be forged out of one piece of metal, very well, kind of, it's terribly well balanced. Yeah, it's quite nice. You see there's also a few cutlasses, a couple of scimitars as well. All seem to be. There's no like clean blade here. All of them are serrated in some fashion.
Okay.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
How do you forge the serrated edges?
Well, that would be a question for our blacksmith.
Oh, do you not personally?
No, I
yourself?
just sell them.
You're the charming face.
So to speak. Believe me, there's plenty of other horrors about this city if you look hard enough.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we will
I
not
don't
say-
I
want
didn't
to.
say that
I don't want to
character.
look hard. I don't want to look at all.
This is marvellous craftsmanship. Do you mind me asking how much that would cost, for example, for the dagger?
Yes,
let's say?
on
What's the
the
value?
standard daggers, we'd run you 12.
12
Gold.
Oh,
Oh, thank God.
I was expecting another number.
12 souls.
12,000.
We don't want your
Souls.
Okay.
guess 12 men.
You
He will give you the dagger.
Definitely. I think
They may not
I'll
be cursed.
I'll have to ponder it further, but I may be back.
Of course, well, we're open all night.
Thank you.
You see, as one of the chains kind of comes down, kind of hooks out and around the blade that's kind of in your hand, kind of snakes around it, and then kind of slowly takes it back and hangs it up, and then hangs itself back up.
My guy, that is real gross. I know it's just who he is, but oh fuck.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Almost patronage.
I'm ready
There are any guns here,
I
aren't
want a sick ass.
No, there's a
Demon gun sounds pretty fun.
Not any guns, but yeah, demon and devil guns are pretty fun.
Yeah, I'll have to go check out Screaming Intent in the Fire District.
Sounds like
Yeah,
some
I
heresy
like
to
to go
me.
as well.
Should we, let's go after this.
Yeah.
We'll take his card.
You want to go out blacksmith curiosity?
Yeah, I want to go out of curiosity for serrated blades.
Demon blacksmithing.
I'm going to know if it's okay for me to take this.
Hi there, how many
I mean, it's up
souls
to you,
did
like,
find
'cause you're
to
Val.
this dagger?
7, 12, what does it matter? Yeah, gun, please.
Yeah, so you go to the store that just has gun written
Yeah.
across it. And surprisingly, it's a very similar looking man to the one who's at the bookshop.
Oh no.
The
boat just rotates around.
It kind of says, hello, nice to see you.
And you? And
He looks
gun.
identical, apart from the robe he's wearing.
Shocking.
Seems
What
to be
guns?
red.
What guns have you got?
We've got flintlocks.
Not gonna
It
look
kind of
into
like kind of like presents them. You see, there's a lot of like standard one-shot kind of flintlocks kind of laid out. You see a couple of nicer ones kind of in behind that have either very nice kind of detailing on the handles. You see some that have 2 barrels, much like yours. Some that have 3 barrels, and you see some that are just generally kind of better quality as well.
Are there any rifles?
You see that there are 2 rifles kind of back. It doesn't seem to be what they specialise in, but yeah, you see there are 2 there. They look like standard rifles. One seems to be a bit fancier than the other.
How much those fancy, that 3-barrel job behind you?
A 3-barrel. That's the devil's voice.
I like to do impressions.
I like to do impressions, really. The 3-barrel, yes, that will be. So it would cost you about 700.
Slightly outside my price range.
It's quite good. Quite good. 3 shots it can do, surprisingly.
Sounds it.
The rifle at the back there, either or.
Yes.
How much for one of those fine instruments of death?
Let's just find out. I don't think I actually bloody put that. That's the one thing I didn't put in my DM's guide, did I? We'll say for a rifle, be 200.
Right.
I have got 100. If we cut off, we say they're advance payments. So the next 100 I gain, I get to keep it all.
Maybe.
Okay.
I might come back later, if that's alright.
Right, here all night. Make sure you check out the bookshop as well. Very good books.
Oh,
We've been.
brother?
Same person.
You changed very quickly.
Oh no, he's still over there. Kind of looks over and he kind of waves, and you see the guy kind of in distance just wave back.
This city is magical.
Wait,
I
hang
know
on,
this.
sorry.
Chain Man and the same guy.
Yeah.
I love
That's
this.
a band.
Chain Man and the same guy.
Is that a 2-person band where it's 2 chain men, or is it a 3-person
No,
band?
it's like a 7-person.
The same guy plays all instruments.
The chain guy we saw.
The chain guy just does the chest of
tambourine.
tambourine.
Wait, no, I'm so confused. It's just the same guy.
Yeah, they identical apart from the robes they're wearing.
Twins then.
No, they're the same person.
Apparently they're the same person. Are you there?
Yeah,
Should we
well,
make
I
like
went around
Irish
with all it. Yeah, I'm
Make like Irish
confused.
I didn't think we went, but okay.
Oh, and I thought we were all going
We
around
can,
together
yeah.
at this point.
We just tied the boats together.
Nat 1, I'm baffled.
Yeah, you've never seen this.
The one most likely of all of us to understand it, and seeing as you've done this yourself, and you're lost.
Mirror image?
Yeah, you have no idea.
I don't have mirror image.
You've cast it. You can't do that session.
No, I didn't.
Then you did through one of your circles of the whatever.
No.
Blur.
I'm thinking blood.
You are stumped.
Okay.
Is this, how do you do that?
Oh, I'm a clone.
You are a clone.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
How
a
were you
lot more
cloned?
confusing.
He
Sorry, I don't mean to.
got a lot of that one over there. Got a lot of gold together, just in cases like a death reassurance. I
From
guess.
Books.
Hmm?
From Books.
Yeah, from not just Books, but I don't really know.
Don't
much of his-
appropriate, mate.
Don't know much of his life before then, but
Sorry,
usually when someone clones, the clone doesn't come alive until they die, because the soul goes from one to the other. But he had a bit of a mishap, and here I am. We're making the best of it, I'll tell you.
This is incredible. Do you mind me stopping you just for a moment? What is a book?
You know all those things you like?
Book.
Yeah, book.
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 It's probably not best for you two to argue about accents.
Never mind, yes, this is fine.
Right, I'm done shopping. Unless, does anyone have a boat deed here on the cheap?
No, they don't. The one thing that doesn't, or one of the few things that doesn't seem to be on the river market is a boat. So that seems to be done with in the docks.
I'd like
Usually
to
between captains.
Make the same search that Mastella made earlier, looking for magical rope or a ropery or
Yeah, make
a roper.
Make an investigation check.
I hope I don't find a roper, honestly.
Christ.
Yeah,
No one seems to be selling rope here.
Would you ask and get banned from the
I
market?
already had to look for a magical rope and I couldn't find anything. But I did actually find somewhere that was selling regular rope. You said that there was plenty of places selling regular rope.
I've got plenty of rope.
Oh no, I couldn't find. Wasn't that what you were looking for?
I need magical rope, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
need regular rope.
Oh yeah, no, I had to look. I believe that this is not the correct place. We would have to look and see actual
Seems
market.
like it.
District.
I'm glad I'm getting all my ones out in not very important bits.
RP session.
Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad thing.
Where to now, team? Well, we're going to go to this fire district.
It sounds interesting.
I'm
for,
incredibly intrigued.
Right, let's go.
Okay, so as you go through, it seems to be next to the two different districts you see here. So you see the Flame District on one side, and immediately next to it seems to be the Fey District. You see as the kind of on the outer wall, it's just, you don't even see stone, it's just all vines and blossoming flowers and various fruits kind of hanging from the outer wall. Whereas in the Flame District, it is hot, there are braziers here and there, a lot of the buildings seem to have a lot of metal kind of detailing going up them that are kind of like scorching to the touch. You see, as you walk through these streets, quite a lot of tieflings, a lot of infernal looking creatures. You can see ones that kind of have these long kind of like thorny beards that kind of end in jagged spikes with a similar kind of hair kind of braided up. You can see other people who seem to have chains kind of writhing about their body but much more tightly. You see a couple that are attached to dogs and stuff like that as they go about their daily lives. You even see one that kind of like sticks out from amongst the crowd as this large kind of figure made entirely of bone with these insectoid wings and this scorpion-like tail that seems to just like swing in behind it as it kind of lumbers around the street, kind of paying no mind to the stuff around it as it seems to be.
What the heck?
You walk past into a kind of main thoroughfare in the centre, and you can see the centre of this where the stone kind of would be. There's a part where it just cracks and ends, and in this large kind of 60-foot kind of radius seems to just be blackened earth and soil for whatever reason. You can see an inn to one side here that seems to have a sign that's called the Second Layer, as well as a blacksmith's that has a face of a person kind of like pulling, almost scratching into their own face in a deep guttural scream.
I think that's it.
called
I think
Screaming
that
Intent.
might be it.
And then just across from Screaming Intent, you can see a sign that appears to have a kind of contract that seems to be signed in blood, kind of as it's kind of a logo that seems to be called the Quarters of Covenant.
Right, I think
This
it should
place
find
is
sense if there's any
terrifying.
fiends around.
Imagine giving directions to this place. Oh yeah, it's just opposite Screaming Intent.
Just get the blood sign.
If you've seen the blood contract sign, you've gone too far.
Alright, let's go into Screaming Intent. Why the fuck not?
I feel like this is that bit in Harry Potter where he accidentally goes to Nocturne Alley.
Oh yeah!
And we're just like, guys.
Except Harry wasn't a giant with an anchor, so I think we'll be more okay.
Oh yeah.
So as you go on into Screaming Intent, you can immediately, even though the heat was kind of getting to you outside, you go in and it's even hotter in here. You can see kind of all the counters made out of this like sheening kind of metal, and all seem to be kind of hot in some way. You can see behind the counter seems to be this fairly large tiefling, but large not in the sense of muscle. You see this big bulging belly with this kind of apron kind of over the top, kind of blackened hands, these horns that kind of like curled down, one of which has been snapped off. You can see he's just there kind of eating this plate of what seems to be just raw meat of some kind.
Oh no.
With kind of dripping in blood.
Any chance I could tell what kind of meat it is?
Sure, make an nature check.
I want to know.
Why? What?
Yeah.
Well, it might be.
Nat
20.
I know that meat!
It's a long pig! I've already got it.
Amazing.
You kind of just assess the plate that he's got, and it seems to be a few different cuts. You can see there's definitely pig, cow, and with your nat 20, you wouldn't normally recognise this, but something tells you that one of those meats is probably humanoid.
Yeah.
Oh, long pig! Reminds me of my days in the Zambezi tribe.
You can see kind of this kind of like metal chain is kind of like bisecting the room, and behind the metal chain seems to be the forge area, where you can see a large kind of creature, kind of spines kind of curling off its back, kind of purple of skin, these kind of wings that are tucked into one side, and this kind of big toothy maw as it's kind of grabbing weapons from the side that seem to have been recently forged and still hot, and takes a file and begins like kind of serrating the edges of them, kind of working down them very quickly. This large kind of overweight tiefling kind of turns to you, kind of.
How can I help?
We are potentially interested in giving you our patronage, but
I'm behind guard.
actually, I'm quite intrigued just by. I'm not wearing my holy symbol at this point. So I probably stand out a
Peering
little.
out from
Yeah, oh yeah, we're all behind
But
guard.
not like bang, it's on my chest.
Okay.
And just intrigued into the properties of what you produce and how the forging process works.
Well, we've got a couple of properties to our weapons. Some that do damage or cause intense pain to your foes. We've got some that we've bound some unfortunate souls to that can deal a good.
It's got a clipboard.
She's writing this in the list of things she hates.
deal a good burst of energy and damage to those. Yeah, we can. If you're buying something for a specific target, we can make sure they suffer before they're sent down below.
You may have gained a customer.
You have guns.
Guns? No, we don't.
Okay, goodbye. And I'm out and flying away.
Just like destroys the shop on his way out.
Grab some of his meat.
Smashes into the window a few times.
Is it an incubus, the other thing? Is it any. What is it?
You can make a you can make a religion check, and you
Oh,
can make a religion
great.
check at this. Oh,
Was
and
that-
you're proficient in religion as well. Sorry. Yeah, you because you're
Nat
proficient.
20.
Like, you because you're proficient. You because you study religion because you're.
I might know this.
No, so natural 20 and
17.
17. You both know this to be a spine devil, bigger than usual. Usually they're only about a medium, or they're only like a small size, maybe pushing on medium. But this one seems to be fairly big. They tend to be some of the. They're not regarded as difficult or high up or notable devils, but it's a devil. It's from the hells, and yeah, it seems to be of a spined variety.
Is it
Oh no,
like
sorry, barbed.
close
Barbed,
enough for me to
yeah.
speak to?
Yeah, it's in the room. It's only about like 10 feet away, and it's just very like concentrating on its work, kind of like serrating the edge of a dagger.
At this point, Foyer comes back and then hides behind guard. I made a mistake of going into the contract one. That was far worse.
I've got to do some shit now.
I'll stay here.
I walked in and accidentally signed something.
Tripped
And then we notice you're holding your eyes
Yes.
for some reason. I don't know why.
Needless to say, my soul is bound to this blade, and I have no idea what
Your
that means.
signature is like carved in the back of your hand.
I'm no longer a bird. Everything went wrong.
You're inside out.
Oh.
You know the chaos I had this place, that but going in, and I just signed hundreds of them.
I
You're
just,
like, almost passed out from blood loss.
One of these will make me leave.
if I keep signing, eventually one will be good.
Or I'll die, which is honestly preferable.
I just wanted to ask.
That's this to the smith. Or
Yeah,
the
no,
guy
to
behind
the
counter.
guy filing the shit.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
smith. By the looks of it. Yeah, he's filing it. Kind of.
Well, I suppose I can see from what you are doing right now, but is this how you write all of your
He kind of
weapons?
looks up. Looks a bit perturbed that you've interrupted as well.
Oh,
He says,
I apologize.
Yes, we do.
It's fascinating work.
Somewhat of a signature.
No, it's so do you forge the blades as you would an ordinary blade, and then instead of sharpening with a
I
whetstone?
forge the blades like a regular blacksmith, but better.
Owned.
Okay. Thank you. No, so is there anything you do particularly different apart from the filing, or do you just
He kind of flips the blade, kind of like stabs it down into the work, like the workbench, and kind of turns and goes.
Now blacksmith doesn't like giving away all of his secrets. I mean, we could do some kind of trade if you're looking to learn under me.
I'm not looking to learn any.
Give him your soul.
I was going to say, he binds souls to weapons.
I'm
Don't
not-
trade with this bastard.
I don't know. I'm always looking for new ways to forge. I am a.
I'm always looking for new subservience.
Oh no! So I don't. I won't be here long. I just. I'm wondering if I can learn any.
He's a slaver.
What?
So
You
it's
can learn this, go and do my techniques, and then.
Oh
undercut
no!
me.
Of course not. I wouldn't be so
Of
hating the
course
blades.
not, of course not.
No. Okay.
You see the wings kind of like unfurl a little bit, and you can see all the spines like almost like tense up and down.
Where did you go?
I love
Okay.
that this is Marstella's first time interacting with the devil. Kind of picks up the blade, kind of turns it in his hands a little
Just
bit.
making that noise that I was just making. I'm just gonna back away behind Garbs. Like.
He kind of looks at you, kind of does like
I
kind
pay him, you leave. You're not allowed to.
looks at the shopkeep, and they just both share like it. He like swivels back around in his chair and begins carrying on filing it down in certain places.
Well, you seem like awful gentlemen, and
Oh, I'd be hard pushed to find one of us who isn't. That's what you got to do to get by.
I totally agree. Now these weapons of yours, what we talking? You got anything that could bludgeon someone effectively?
Let me check.
He sees the big one kind of lumbers, like stands up, and he grows a couple of inches as he kind of like stands off this stool, kind of like almost waddles on off to one side of the room, kind of brings down this kind of like hammer, kind of comes down, kind of sets it down on the counter. You can see it's kind of like this black kind of haft, kind of very plain until it gets to the head, where you can see it has this kind of like metal kind of like a sculpted decal of like a screaming face on it, and each end that seems to be kind of like emblazoned red.
This will give a bad time to anyone who sees the end of it.
Right. And then the sensitive matter of cost, of course.
Oh, cheap price of, well, if you're paying gold, 4,000, but other payment methods can be discussed.
Right, like souls or
Souls, yours or otherwise. Flesh, yours or otherwise. Servants, you or otherwise.
I don't do servants.
We'll strike that off then.
I don't quite have the funds to do business with you chaps today, but I'll almost certainly be back.
We'll keep it reserved. It's a fine piece. No one's,
How much flesh would it cost you for that? Out of curiosity, I don't really know the exchange rate.
Or souls.
quite a lot of flesh. For souls, we'd call it 60 souls.
How does someone like me go about collecting a soul?
Bring the unfortunate person here and we'll do it for you. That'll cost you a bit extra. Or kill someone and bind their soul to an object.
Right, I don't think I've got the skills to do that last one, but these souls, Midas souls would work.
Soul's a soul at the end of the day.
Right, that's good. I'll be seeing you, gentlemen.
Kind of nods, kind of takes the hammer, kind of puts it back up on the wall.
I need some souls.
I need you to not need souls.
Right, well, if you want me to do the best job I can possibly do protecting you, I've got to have the best equipment.
I know, and that's why I'm paying you. I'm paying you in gold so you can buy things with gold.
I know, but I don't have the gold right now, and souls are...
I don't have the souls either. That's 60 souls.
I know,
Of
but
people that we've got to enslave.
I'm not enslaving them. I'm going to be
Hang on.
taking them prisoner.
Garbs
You've
after
missed a
people's
lot.
souls.
Do you leave the shop?
No.
Oh, yeah, so you had that, yeah. They were discussing payment, and the person said he can pay in flesh, gold, or souls, or slaves.
No, do slaves. But souls, Get some minus, guys.
Souls are like slaves.
It's still enslavement,
Being
yeah.
a slave
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, but
That's like
For
slavery, but for
eternity.
eternity.
What about flesh? That's easy to get.
Yeah.
Yours or otherwise.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, flesh is.
It's a better
That's why I want to know
alternative.
how much. Like, is it your own? Like, how much of your own would it cost?
A pound of flesh.
Are we gonna flay you?
I don't want to be flayed.
No, you don't. But
You've got the most flesh to give.
yeah.
I do have the most flesh to give, but I need
Come
it.
on, man, give us some flesh.
Come on!
We all start chanting flesh, flesh.
We've been in this district for 5 minutes.
Let's go elsewhere.
Stop being such a flesh
You guys went from like, oh my god, what the fuck is this district, to yeah, let's give him flesh.
Flesh, come on, guys.
That's okay. That River's not.
Let's please leave now. Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to go purify myself somewhere.
Right, Holy District. Do I know where one is?
We can go to the Fey District.
Fey District
is
is
it
nice.
the Holy District? Yeah, the Fey District is right.
Is that where the
next
Garden
to
of
this.
Blades is?
It is, yes.
Where's
Right,
the,
let's go there.
pub with book?
Also in the Fey District.
Lit.
Fey District it is.
As you go through into the Court of Saralitis.
Book pub.
God.
Salaritis. You see as you kind of, it's quite easy to transition, you kind of hurriedly kind of walk out of the Flame District as you see kind of more devils and tieflings kind of around. Some of them eyeing you, some of them paying no mind. As you go into the Fey District, you see, it's like stepping into another world. You see as there is no concrete, no metal that is visible to the eye. Everything is just overgrown and covered in various plants, mosses, flowers, fruits, kind of like hanging trees coming down, forming makeshift kind of awnings, looking like they've kind of been grown or sculpted by someone to kind of fit their purpose. You see kind of hedgerows carved out of, carved to look like benches that people are kind of like lazing on. You can see various kinds of elves mainly, as well as some other kind of like Eladrin and what's the other type of elf? There's another one. I'm forgetting another. Shadakai. That's it. Eladrin, Shadakai, kind of all spectrum of elf is here. You see a couple of Asimar kind of walking the streets as well. But yeah, there's kind of that's the main kind of population. But you
No
see
drows.
people of everything. Yeah, you see a couple of drows as well. Actually, no, you wouldn't. Sorry, that's somewhere else. So you kind of like go through it. You can see kind of like pixies and fairies kind of fluttering around. You see every now and again a man who's kind of humanoid on top, beard, kind of like panpipes and like a waistcoat and these horns that curl down and these kind of weird goat legs that extend down, kind of walking around like a knapsack, kind of like just doing some shopping, picking some fruit.
Get a pet for.
You walk past through into this kind of main thoroughfare again. It seems to be like a long kind of garden-like square. Where you can see this kind of big one kind of large willow tree kind of like hanging out, kind of stopping at about 20 feet as the leaves kind of like descend and people just kind of sat under them talking, drinking, some people having sex just out here. As,
This
you know,
place is lit.
anyone who knows
Happy
anything about the
days.
Feywild knows that they are chaos and pleasure and
This place is so much nicer.
it's beautiful. You see,
I'm sure you could have found an orgy in the last place too.
you see a
Probably quite different.
Far less pleasant though.
Yeah.
Proper sadomasochist.
you see like a doorway, like carved into like a tree that seems to have beautifully inscribed on it the Garden of Blades, kind of in this gold kind of filigree across the front of the door. You see just kind of a couple of streets down from that, kind of almost like an entryway into like a bush almost that kind of like comes up and forms into an archway that leads into darkness. It says Pecker's Picked Procurements. Kind of
Run
spelled,
by Peter Piper.
yes, spelled out by a kind of like not a sign, but like vines that have grown in the shape of the letters, kind of like around the archway of the bushes.
This place is
You see a stairway that leads up the central tree, kind of into what you assume would be a walkway or building that's out of sight, completely encompassed by the willow. And you can see kind of a sign kind of hanging there with a person that seems to be like asleep, kind of painted upon the sign. It says "Dreams from the Vine," as this person's head is kind of wrapped in this kind of grapevine. You see a armorsmith, kind of seems to be a more standard building with a door on the front, but again, building is still kind of encompassed in these kind of vines and mosses, called the Mithrilium. And then you see two other places that seem to be next to each other. You see one that seems to be quite a large building. It seems to be like a mound that almost comes out of the ground with a door that kind of like leads into it, almost like the Teletubbies house, I guess, in a kind of way.
Yay!
What?
This
You could have gone like a
four
Hobbit house, but Teletubbies house, yeah, also fine.
four coloured beams with screens in their
I mean, they're based off,
They'll
they're
definitely
based off
cry.
the same thing anyway. So I mean, Yeah.
Teletubbies based on Tolkien books.
Yeah, man. They all live under the hills. There's this big burning eye that rises. Like, you're telling me that.
Then
They
there's
have
the
a
robot Hoover, yeah, like very
there's
Tolkien.
4 Teletubbies, there's 4 hobbits.
Nunu is Gandalf.
Yeah, of course.
Get that on Twitter now.
Yeah, so you see this this larger kind of like mound place. It seems to have a sign that says Duskwood Unto the Slumbering Hills. And you see a very small, thin building, kind of like cramped in between all of these. It doesn't look big at all. It's almost as wide as the door is, essentially. And you can see a couple of pixies kind of like sat outside. And every now and again, someone will walk up, talk to a pixie, and then walk on in. And this place is called the Escapade into Bliss.
Oi, oi.
As you see, it's quite a busy, bustling, but relaxed district.
I'm feeling a bit too relaxed. I changed the tone, just fire my gun into the air and see what happens. No, I don't.
Let's create chaos!
I'd like to briefly pop to the Garden of Blades, and then I'm easy.
Well, you're in the right place then.
I would like
Just to check in that it was okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I think he said easy.
No,
Oh, I
There's-
see.
As in you want to fight.
there's a fawn screwing an elf right there. Like,
There is.
I don't stop looking at them, just like.
all right.
The fawn kind of looks over at you and just.
Go on. That'll be fun.
Is Miss Stella a virgin?
Probably.
Yeah.
River definitely is.
Yeah, I don't. No. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that joke probably would have gone over River's head. She wouldn't have known what you meant.
Oh, good. Right. What was the vine? Dream of the Vine.
Dreams from the Vine.
Dreams from the Vine. I wanna check that place out. Let's go. Garden of Blades.
Garden of Blades.
I want to go there because that sounds interesting.
What I'm going to do is every building that we go to here, I'm going to like take a little trimming of the plant that's on there and pocket it, and then at the end of the day, I'll have a vine compilation.
Shit. Do you have inspiration?
Yeah, I do.
No way.
Really?
No. You see, as you kind of like clip a leaf from a vine, you see as the leaf.
Oh, I'm not actually going to do that.
Oh.
As you clip a leaf, everything turns dark as the nightmare scape
I
involves
don't want
you.
to fuck with this.
Yeah. You also notice, despite it kind of being night, you know it to be nighttime. There's just this ever-present kind of like soft light around you. This is almost sourceless in nature.
Cute cam. Can I still see the stars though?
Yeah, you can still see them, but. So yeah, as you kind of head into the Garden of Blades, you open this kind of oaken door kind of into this tree, almost.
Tom being propositioned for an orgy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I
Boys,
saw a
guys.
fawn and an elf fucking, and I was just like, wow. And then the fawn was like, hey, come join us, and I was like, if you didn't have a goat penis, my friend.
Can I get in that?
Yeah, the penis would be a
Yeah,
goat.
it seems to be very like a place of free love.
Yeah, I would.
As you kind of, as you just go up and walks over, tears off all his clothes immediately.
I don't even have to tear them off. The clothes auto come off.
Yeah. You see as they both kind of like outstretch their hands towards you, kind of pull you down, both start caressing Gar's
See you
body.
guys later.
I pick up his clothes, I roll them up, put them in my bag. Like,
They can both
he doesn't
like
It's a more sensual lovemaking than I guess you'd be used to with your upbringing. Wait, with your upbringing?
Oh god.
That came out wrong.
How old is this
not
guy?
our father did it.
He's 22.
Okay.
God damn, okay.
This is like.
Yeah, as the rest of you go into the Garden of Blades, instead of being greeted with an interior, you're greeted with a similarly light room, like to the street. And you can see instead of a floor, there's just kind of grass underfoot, and there's kind of a tall grass that kind of comes up to about this height on most of you, or completely shrouds Mostella for the most part of this shop.
Yeah, fuck.
You can see kind of various kind of plants again still growing on the inside. You can hear a very faint tapping of what seems to be a hammer against some kind of blade, and you can see a counter as the grass kind of like clears along the way. It seems to be an oak that's kind of like grown and then angled itself across into a makeshift counter. You see a gentleman there. Seems to be a elven gentleman, almost like red sort of skin, nearly like glistening almost. This kind of short kind of blonde hair that flows elegantly down to about his waist. Very fine kind of red outfit on with kind of gold trims on it. Walks in and says, hello, greetings. Glad you could join us here in the Garden of Blades. Welcome, peruse, talk, or just sit a while and take a load off.
It's very kind of you. And what perchance do you have for sale in the way of firearms?
Firearms. It's not our specialty, but we've been trying to expand into that recently.
Excellent.
So, while they may not be the best, he kind of like pulls up a gun that seems to be entirely silver of make.
Oh.
You see as the barrel is kind of carved away to look like vines kind of wrapping down the end of the barrel. It's made of a very nice wood. Kind of like just assessing it, it seems to be just a basic pistol that's been made elegantly. It seems like they've been practicing a little bit, but not masters yet.
So you'd say it's a 1-1?
Yeah, essentially. It's kind of like it's a one shot, but yeah, it looks
Possibly
very
plus.
elegant. Yeah, possibly plus.
Okay. Oh, very elegant looking weapon
Kind
there.
of very gently sets it down on the counter.
Beautiful.
Indeed, we try to aim for beauty and functionality over everything that we make.
Excellent. How much would you say this would put birds such as myself back by?
We could put it at about 400, or we could always offer a favour.
Oh, okay. What kind of favour would you be looking for?
Oh, it would, I guess, depend whatever takes my fancy. at the time.
Bless you. Okay, I'll leave it for now, but I'll have a think on that one, because that's...
So he kind of picks it up, kind of like puts it down to one side. You see some vines kind of grow around
Oh.
it, kind of concealing it.
vibes.
Remy would love it here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go up to the desk and like.
Yeah.
I'll lift you.
As you kind of do that and you go to lift him, you see some vines kind of like grow underneath you and form a kind of seat that kind of
Entangle
kind of
you.
lift you up.
Entangle you,
Maybe
pull you,
yeah.
pull me down.
Devil snare, devil snare. And can it pop me up on the desk? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
okay?
you can go to the ship there. Goes, gentlemen.
Hello.
How may I help?
I myself am a smith.
Just
Looking for work?
I don't think we will be here too long.
Maybe.
Perhaps I don't.
just quickly, as he said, like I after done business go sit down and I assume light up the blunt that's given to me and it's like thanks, I'll be here.
Not in this particular establishment.
Oh.
It's a blacksmith's, but I mean, you're not far off.
Hey.
Some things that I am looking into is perhaps enchanting some weapons that I make. Is this something that you are versed in?
Not myself, but my partner, yes. Very well versed.
Would I be able to pick his brain? Brain.
She does offer lessons.
Brain. Her brain. Brain. Head.
Yes, I understand.
Tête. Le
She-
tête.
She understands. She does offer lessons if you're willing to pay.
Oh. How long would they lesson me?
It's usually $50 for an afternoon,
For an afternoon.
so about 4 hours.
Okay. I would be very interested. Would everyone be okay with me staying here for an afternoon?
Well, by all means.
Do as
Well,
you see fit.
Right.
I may come back. Could I make a booking?
Of course.
Or as Flora would say, a booking?
Yes. Of course.
Listen, that's not nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the point where you guys were nice to me.
I'm always nice to you.
Fuck off.
I just like pointing out your flaws. You're insulting my accent.
And you
Very different.
my size.
That's a small flaw.
Is this You're doing it again.
Yes, I am.
I would love to make a booking.
Fantastic. Well, we have one open in 2 days. We've got someone in tomorrow, but
Oh,
if you'd like to put the coin down now, we would secure it for you. Otherwise, you could pay at the time of the booking. Although, if someone comes in before you, they will get the spot if you don't pre-book.
could I put down half?
Make a persuasion check.
Nah. 12.
There's unfortunately not. We're quite high in demand.
This is okay. I will try my chances.
Of course. Well, are you staying in the district at all?
Oh, yes. I might presume my family have a place here.
You could what is it? It's a stipend where you can you can basically get into places and
Oh, is that how it
be
works?
paid.
Okay.
No, I think no. I'm asking is that.
Oh,
like,
no.
outside
You
of
just
that.
said that in cities.
Yeah, it's absolutely. So yeah, you
I
would
know a place I could stay.
because it's at a noble level as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would be able to stay at the Escapades into Bliss,
Okay, cool.
even though it seems to be a tiny building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be regarded as the posh place.
I presume I've got like a members card or something to.
Yeah.
Swipe in with.
Yeah. Anyone else I can help? Or
Yes, actually, I do have a
Yes.
question. Obviously, your neighbours are somewhat versed in the unholy.
very entertaining though.
For sure.
Two sides of the same coin.
Quite. If I were looking for weapons imbued with divine power, anything you'd have along those lines, or indeed perhaps just some light weaponry.
We don't really specialise in divine here in Priangose, but light weaponry, well, you've come to exactly the right place.
Okay.
You kind
Talk me
Or
about
should I say the light place?
kind of pulls up a long cutlass that seems to be this kind of like a silver kind of metal that kind of gleams very nicely, kind of tosses it up, kind of like catches it, kind of spins it around, kind of hands it to you for test, and you can feel it is very light, cuts through the air, super nice.
I'm back up next to him.
It's yeah, it's very good. It has this kind of a hand guard that seems to be like a cascade of kind of vines kind of covering as well,
Yes.
and it seems to have this kind of like nice detailing going down the entirety of the blade as well. That's the standard of what we offer here, the lowest quality, so to speak, when it comes to the longer blades.
And what are we talking in terms of price?
In terms of price, we'd be talking around 2,000.
Okay.
We're all
12
quite
for a
poor.
demon knife.
But again, we
2,000
can
for
always
the good one.
exchange a couple of favours.
Interesting. Talk to me about your
Oh,
Favours
okay. Could a favour that could be called in now or at any time, or could exude into the future. We very much whatever takes our fancy, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
That sounds like bad magic.
You can make anyone can make either a nature or religion check for me.
I will make
Go on.
one of those.
I don't do anything.
Not 20!
Nice.
Nice.
11.
4. Cool. So, Nem, surprisingly, you're quite well versed in Fey magics, and for some reason, Fey magics, Fey dealings, that kind of stuff. You know that the favours of the Fey are
Favours.
favours.
No.
Are something that were created by the Archfey, the rulers of the Feywild, and it is, depending on who the favour is to, can be as bad as being bound to a devil contract. As a lot of them, while good-natured, are very chaotic and very much act on whimsy. They could ask you for a favour to transport one of their exotic pets across the continent, or they could ask you to basically be bound to them for a year. Or they could ask you to go and kill someone that once didn't laugh at one of their jokes. Or they could ask you to go and steal a firstborn and bring it to them. Or they could ask you to change your name to whatever they want. It's they very much act on impulse, whimsy, and whatever takes them at the time. And
Sometimes it's just like, can you make us a cup of tea?
being in debt to a Fae can either be fun or dangerous, but it's always interesting.
Okay. I'll relay this.
Alright.
They're just there while you're relaying it, like, okay.
I could have told you that, but okay.
2,000
Undercutting us,
and daggers.
Daggers, yes, lots of daggers.
Okay.
Lots and lots of daggers. What are you looking for? Something that can be thrown and brought back to you, something that will just cut better, something that can whistle as it travels through the air.
Whistles
Can you
don't
program specific tunes
I'll
into it?
learn that tomorrow. Son and brought back to you. Something. Sorry.
Inspiration.
Or is that
Sorry, you said son and brought back to you.
Yes.
Is this something that I could learn in one of these lessons? How to enchant something in this way?
If you're brainy, then yes, but it'll take quite a long time. He kind of like takes a dagger from behind the counter, almost pulling it from nowhere. You see it's forged again, kind of like one piece of metal, but it's very delicate and kind of like curves towards the end.
Yes.
He kind of like just throws it across the room. It kind of goes through the grass out of sight. Kind of waits a couple of seconds.
Here's an owl from outside the
And then
building.
you see it's almost from like from his sleeve almost. He just and the dagger reappears.
Oh.
That's cool. Got one of those. Not as me though.
That's one that does more cutting. I'd be interested in knowing how much both are.
So this one would run you around 600. The one that does more cutting, we could quite easily do for 250.
And both those presumably could also be offhand weapons, right?
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I don't want to.
Should we talk outside?
Yes.
I need to speak to my associate, and then I'll be back, I'm sure, very shortly.
We're here all day. Of course, I'd recommend staying within the district. It's a very fun place to stay.
It seems it. Thank you.
Kind of nods to each of you. Garv, roll a performance check for me.
Oh, Christ.
Oh no.
I was looking so good for a second.
You can also give me either athletics or con.
Almost certainly athletics.
Subtle sub.
Yeah. Do you want both of them?
Yes.
So performance was only a 7. Athletics was an 11.
Okay, so
It's
it's not the. Would Garv have had a 3-way before?
Nah, but
It's not the best 3-way
For
you've
your
had.
first time, it's not an amazing 3-way. The
too distracting.
the female elf doesn't seem to perform too well, but the satyr, surprisingly, seems to know exactly what he's doing.
fair.
Goat leg's been around.
As you kind of,
I give goat legs the eyes as I walk like.
he just, each kind of cocks a wink, and you get this kind of almost magical tingle over your body. You feel like rejuvenated and almost ready to go again. But you see as they kind of come out of the blade guard, and you see as Garv's there, kind of like just putting his clothes back up.
No, I'm not. Farah has them.
Yeah, I took him. I chuck him your way. I chuck him and they land like on you, wearing them. We're experienced at this.
Whatever.
Let me know if while we're here I spot any Aarakocra, by the way.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you know.
Cool.
River, first of all, I wanted to thank you because you referred to me as your associate, and I think that might be the first time since I have met all of you that someone has referred to me as something without the prefix small.
I did also
little.
consider my child.
Well, now I take back my thanks, but you know, it was nice when it happened. Second thing, I was going to remind you that I am happy to work on a sword for you. It might not be quite as fancy as this big bull, but it won't be as expensive. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you not to buy these items if you want them and if you can afford them. Then go for it by all means. But yes, I make swords.
That's very interesting to know.
Just so
Thank you.
everybody knows, in case I haven't told you all, I make swords.
It's
I can
come
make
up.
also weapons as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, how much was that lesson to learn?
50 gold.
50 gold.
For 4 hours.
I tossed you 20. I'm like, there you go.
The
How's that
coins
for-
just scatter all over the floor because there is no way for me to catch 20 gold.
Yes.
And the vines just envelop them.
Well, now look what you done. There you go. So that's for your lesson if you make me something. Was what you learn.
Well, I can do my best. I won't make you anything immediately because I can't do it in a day.
I know, but
Well, I mean, it depends what you want, but you know, I can make you a ball. That will make someone think. That is the easiest thing, really. But no, I
see
can.
what you learn. We'll come back.
We'll see
Anything?
what I learn.
Cutlass or gun? The one I'm after.
Gun.
Gun. That.
Yeah. Okay, pistol. Okay.
Thank you for letting me know.
Right. Let's go to the Dream from Vine place.
Yep, so who's going to Jim from the Vines?
Kiss Mirage.
What was the name of the place that was the Teletubbies house? It's the only thing I didn't write down.
That was Duskwood Unto the Slumbering Hills.
So I didn't write
Of
it down.
course, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I didn't write it down.
I assume that's
which
a
one is the
tavern.
book?
Does it look
Paul?
tavern-y? Yeah, cool.
Huh?
The Duskwood is the tavern, basically.
Yeah, Jim from the Vine is a bookshop / inn.
Weirdly, Duskwood and the Slumbering Hills are both World of Warcraft locations.
So Duskwood is a Feywild location as well, which I got from the Slumbering Hills. Yes.
No, I'm going to go there because I
I've got
got
like
confused
a
about
book
what it was.
town.
Is Booktown also the inn?
It is one of the inns. There are 3 inns here.
Okay.
Oh, let's just go there at the end of the night. Let's just stay there and I'll just read all night.
What's the Mithrilium?
That is an armourer.
Is that the sound of rain? No, it's a fan. It's been on for like 3 hours.
You okay?
No.
Oh.
So where are you all headed to?
Yeah, let's go to the Duskwood under the Weeping Willow.
I think Garv's done with this district. I'm gonna bounce.
Cool. Where are you going to go to? Anyone particular?
What were the other
I'm
districts?
going to go for a drink or something if you want to come. We're going to just chill for a sec.
I just want to see more of the city.
So do I, but you know, take a rest, get off our feet.
Alright, I'll come for one drink.
Okay.
So as you all
Go back.
go on into Duskwood Unto the Slumbering Hills,
Wait, drink, we'll see what they got.
open up this door. It kind of opens outwards. You kind of go down a set of stairs, and again, this kind of effervescent, kind of glowing, sourceless light seems to be there as well. You kind of go down into like a large room that seems to have this large ring table kind of in it. That's all kind of all connected essentially. There's no separate tables here, and in the center seems to be where the bar is. People kind of like moving back and forth from the table, kind of bringing them drinks and stuff like that. You see various nooks kind of around the outside, like pods almost, that have doors in them. And also seem to just be, as soon as you get over the threshold, entirely vines, mosses, kind of like a very natural kind of bed to sleep in. As you come in here and kind of you essentially sit down, all kind of like gather around one kind of centralized location, order a couple of drinks in, I think it's going to be a fairly good place to wrap the session before you fully explore the rest of the city.
Okay.
As I know people have stuff to do at 9. So, thank you very much for joining us for that stream. Next session we will be doing the, was it the climax comment?
Oh yeah, the comment climax, the climax comment competition, and as I mentioned earlier, the winners for the last 2 weeks were, week 1 was Pilchard 123, and week 2 was Gaunty. So thank you for sticking around in the chat. We love you.
So feel free to go down below, follow our social medias. You'll see when we're next doing the stream. I believe we've had a date discussed, but we'll confirm that afterwards.
Yes.
As in the next session, they will be exploring possibly the remainder of this city that I absolutely fucking love.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for joining us for this session. Thank you guys very much for playing as always. Make sure you check us out down below, see when we're going live next. We're going to be back tomorrow with a session of EE that the wonderful Elliot DMs. We're going to be getting into some deep fucking shit there as we're near the end of the campaign. So next time we should have the wonderful Callum rejoining us as well. But until then, thank you very much for joining, you beautiful people. Stay nifty, and I'm going to repeat myself, but stay beautiful. Thank you.
Peace.
Sayonara.
Stay there.
The gnome also says goodbye, apparently.
It shouldn't. The gnome shouldn't be allowed.
What? No.